Hello, everyone. Speaking through this avatar once again. This is Kev, and welcome to another Smoke Show Sunday here on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit that like button on the way in, or you can hit that dislike button. One or two people did that last time, so hey, I wouldn't be surprised or shocked seeing that the theme show. The theme of this smoke show is Um, a little volatile, I would I would say, but not too problematic for me. So, um, hopefully that we get people who come through here who understand what the meaning of that is. But thanks for attending, and also a special thank you to the replay gang, people who have to get their rest so they can get their week started early tomorrow. You know, special shout out to those people as well. Um, but let me give some shout outs in this chat. Some people who were here a little early. Alonzo Griffin was good. D. Scott got a member in the building. Lord Lovesmith said, I am here for the smoke, so let's bring it. Uh, Color people time. Yeah, color people time for sure. RPM, what's good, man? Tell Toya, what's going on? Member of the channel. Dane one. Hurry up and buy. Long live the habitual line steppers. Says anybody watching this game? Probably not now if they're here. But so we're gonna talk about access points and gatekeeping. Something that occurs in many facets of society. Ice Cube talked about gatekeeping within the Hollyweird. So we're no stranger to that kind of thing. And just kind of share with you guys a couple things that I really hadn't thought of as far as I was saying, ingratiating yourself to a space such as this one in this wacky world that we call YouTube. So anyway, how does one get in a space such as this? How does one do it? Have I actually done enough research? Have I watched enough people to get a clear answer to that? Were we dealing with a space of black men who could define that if if the situation called for it? Do we have people that want to step up and you know, I guess willing to defend the usefulness? Because is like I said, it was a million times before. When you are a collective of black men, first task everybody wants to assign you with is to save the community. You should be making plans to save the community. Have those conversations, the conversations that everyone needs to hear. No, we have those people. It's just like they're just waiting on it. They're just keeping their fingers crossed and simple solutions to simple problems. Then we move on to the next conversation, and why are things so fucked up, or why are there people who spread when they get on platforms like this that why 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 is it being spread that things are so fucked up? I think for the most part, if you have the ability to be healthy and to come to people on a week to week basis, you're just fine. Especially if you got time to come up here. So I'm not saying that people in their lives are going without their challenges from day to day life. What I'm saying is if some of you have such great lives and productive, well balanced lives, what happens in between the time you're spending in your real life and when you log into YouTube? What happens in between there? Since, some of you proclaim to be so useful. What's up, Zentober? What are any of us doing up here? What am I doing up here? Why are we up here? Are we up here to cope? Make this a coping situation? Get up here as a collective of men and be like, God damn, what's wrong with me? I don't know, man. I'm trying to still figure out what's wrong with me. Is that how people really perceive things? Because I mean, like I said last week, if it's like that, if that's the world you see, and you know, I'm a part of this world, then I don't know what world you're looking at. I don't know what world you live in because that's not the environment I see. What I'm starting to believe is that people just they come up here to find a validation that they don't get in their actual real lives, and that person could be male or could be female. That's the trap that I did not ever want to get caught in. Coming up in here on YouTube or Facebook or any social media platform. No pun intended. I just want to keep it 100 with you guys. People have enough going on in their actual lives. I will agree with that sentiment. People have enough going on in their actual lives. My only dilemma is that I think things can be a little bit more interesting. If you don't have the ability to do that, you have no right to complain about how anyone else does it, which is pointless at the end of the day. Yell and scream at someone, call them dumb for the millionth time, and actually have a crowd of people listening to it. It's craziest thing ever to me. And these people call themselves productive. Up here to help unsuspecting black men from destruction. Mm, I don't want to see men destroy themselves, but most black men I know aren't at beginner level either. So I try to keep that in mind. It's not treating people like they're stupid. Man, the dudes who run this space is a coward and agent. Some chick said this space is a hate group, and they let that slide and didn't say anything about it. You gotta understand. We got a bunch of superstars. We got a bunch of I am hims. If they took the focus off of themselves for a second and tried to solve a problem, that's time taken away from them trying to focus on themselves. What is this? These two, when you put those two words together, what is it really about? When you put the words black manosphere together, I'm not here to criticize any attempts to make it mean anything. Afro National, thank you. Thank you. Consider how easy it is for people to get RICO and conspiracy charges. Yeah, there has to be an actual abundance of evidence leading to such. I'm not here to I'm not here to lead you guys into la la land. I'm just saying, hey, I share my thought. You share your thoughts if you want to participate in the chat or you want to leave a comment if you're in the replay gang. Hey, what are we thinking out there? What do we want to get done? When you put those two words together, black manosphere, are you embarrassed or does it fill you with pride? Just asking. Just asking. I mean, I know the anti crew. You know they they don't like when I say this. They don't like to be questioned. You know that little anti-black manosphere movement that they. I mean, people can use their freedom of speech. I'm not saying that that we're above criticism or whatever you consider the space to be is above criticism, because no one is. I've consistently said that. But when the space is bombarded with bullshit, who are the ones that's going to step up? Do you disassociate yourself and then you go into I am him mode, or do you say, "No, man, that's bullshit"? I know that doesn't mean much. I mean, you can say any amount of info is bullshit. So who gives access? Who says, "Hey, this guy's Black Manosphere"? Not this access every time a black guy that is a YouTuber fucks up and does something wild in public, then you want to associate that guy with the space. Then, nah, that's not how it works. And no, a qualifier isn't that we hate the opposite sex, because I know how you guys are. Any disagreement or criticism is hatred for the opposite sex. That is such a weak attempt to try to discredit someone. I'm just saying. But what qualifies as access? Zentober says, "I'm personally tired of the Dear John of people leaving the space." Yeah, what's up with that? I just how these people are just leaving the space. I was like, why? I mean, is because it's because of the need to feel special. Detroit 313, what's good? Dear John letters. I can't do it no more. I am no longer a part of this because that nigga made me mad. Like that's what it is. I mean, personally, shit. I don't want nobody to stay that. I mean, that doesn't want to stay. You don't have to. Shoot. But really, one thing I should have thought about for real, maybe a couple years back is what qualifies as access. Lord Love Smith, thank you for the super chat. Keep pushing forward, man. Just know the people who see the real ones are, man. Yeah, yeah. This this is Smoke Show Sunday. I mean, this is something that I want to draw these people out. That's what I want to do. Not have somebody show up for 2 seconds and then flies away. But thanks for the support. I really appreciate that. So who got the smoke? Who got the smoke? Did someone disagree with anything that I did this past week? See if I can. I tagged Obsidian. Not that I want to advertise Obsidian. Due to audience demographics, there's no way I can do that anyway. is to is to let me just go and admit something. I will have more to gain from you know doing content on him than he would on me at this point. But the reason why I tagged the man is because he is a quote unquote access point. I will have questions for him. I mean, and that probably would be easier if I were a female. I'll say that much. But questions such as what do you do about the current problem that the space itself is facing, and he does react to certain people. He does. Did I talk about the Kurt Franklin situation about how his? No, I didn't. His mom kept him away from his father. His father was like what, a block away from him growing up. I mean, I don't know if that information is accurate, but it is a shame, and it's something that we've gone through time and time again with different people. And there's always the same result. Instead of seeing this as a problem for black men in general, we blame black men for being deadbeat fathers without getting the whole entire story. It's the same story every time. He's not around because he's sorry. Nobody ever wants the truth because we live in a society that is conducive to that. You know, he's too much of a coward to come and talk with the brothers. But if he does show up, there are tons of conditions. Well, just know this: I have conditions too. I mean and that should be anybody that's running a YouTube channel at this point. Thank you for the super chat. Awaken black heterosexual. This space is evolving, whether for good or for bad. Some come and some go because they have this expectation like every black man that is in this space or collective is supposed to have a cape on and just fly around and solve problems for everyone. But the problem with that is that would be cool, but you've already had a mountain of problems before this thing was even formed. So what I keep telling people is that the mentality is going to have to improve, is going to have to change, or you're just going to be stuck in this fucking loop. And I don't think people should waste their time on it. Personally, if you care, you care, but if you don't, you don't. So thank you for the super chat, Robert Nelson, the famous sorry black boomer generation. And we got the pro wax protecting the deadbeat moms. Yeah, yeah. Mother can be addicted to drugs and she will still get all the credit in the world for being mama. And that's just what it is. That's the situation that we deal with. You never, black man number one. It's funny because people who claim to be pro-black actually in action in the action anti-death community, they claim, yeah, yep, yeah. So people say they want to help, and then in the same breath, I mean, it's funny, and there are people that act like they don't see that shit. Everyone says trolling until you call them a troll. Some things are just backwards. It's funny. Yep. But yeah, let's get back to these access points. Are there any type of access points right now? I mean, yeah, there are a couple, but you know, the funny thing is that everyone, whether you've been in the space for 10 years or 2 years, everyone has already made that decision. Hyper-catastrophic impact X83rd power is in the building. Say he's ready for the smoke like Snoop Dogg. I don't know. Snoop Dogg. Yeah. What time frame are we talking about? Yeah. What time frame are we referring to? Yeah, I'm just saying, like last week, I made the statement that a lot of these guys in this space, they find it way easier to talk to women than they can to talk to other men. So what I'm saying is, we got all these men in this space. What's good? What's good? And I'm not complaining. Men are going to talk to women. That's just what it is. People trying to fight that nature or act like it's somebody else's fault. That's sus. That is sus. S-U-S. Night ish. What's good? Night ish says hit the like button. We got 40. We got 40 of you in here. Hit that like button. This is the smoke show. This is the smoke show. Smoke show Sundays. A show that a couple of content creators say shouldn't happen. But guys like me say fuck that shit. Just saying. In fact, let me just go ahead and do this. There's a link. There's a link. But you know me, I can continue to talk to the people. Art Stall. Robert Nelson says, like Umar Johnson and Obsidian are the reason is why elements of manosphere is not right. Both are anti-black male progress, BGS, and afraid men want to be cult leader. I made a Facebook post and I'm gonna say what I said here. And this is as it regards to Kevin. I do not want to be anybody's leader. I don't. I don't have the amount of pacifiers that it would take to get such a job complete. Hello, Angela C. Good to see you. I don't have that many pacifiers. Lead yourselves. Go find your fathers. Ask him why. Ask your moms for the truth. People love talking in the background and player hating from the sidelines. Come get it off your chest. Pause. He says, I don't think Obsidian is any black man progress. Obsidian more so cashes in on black female fuckery. Obsidian is a funny dude, and he has a good voice for radio. But is this manosphere is this black manosphere, is it a godsend or is it just a branding? Is it just a way to brand? Facts, leading people is way too much work and a huge burden. Except for people who are it's not a burden to people who are disingenuous and self-aggrandizing. Obsidian, Obsidian is an opportunist. Yes, I know what you're saying. He's a he's an opportunist. He's he's someone that it wouldn't be fair. I mean, with Obsidian and with anyone on this platform to act to pretend like is some type of amoral thing to do to cash in. See, but for people like that, what were they looking for? For people like that, what were they looking for, and why are they so disappointed? What was it supposed to do? All of them dudes can't get past their pain. Obsidian is still an angry big booty Keisha pick drug dealer Raheem Man and Tay Tay. Obsidian and who? You said all of them dudes. So that is to imply more than one. So who's had a good week? Who in the chat has had a good week? I already dropped the link once. You know, let that heart skip a beat one time and then hit the link. Angela C has had a good week. That is awesome. Glad to, glad glad you shared the news. That's good news. That's good news. Zentober also said he had a good week. However, catastrophic impact X83rd Power says went to my first Bellator MMA event. I was so excited. That made my whole month. Glad you had a good time. Did somebody get knocked the fuck out? Kevin Angry Man gave me I love fat girls and I'm angry about it. Awakened Black Heterosexual says making progress. Awesome. 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 See, there are people who watch these platforms that have good lives. Some would dare say their lives are great. Herbert says plenty of submissions and some knockouts. Yeah, it's always the knockouts that catches everybody. Cause those shits be out of nowhere. I just be sitting up there watching, trade punch, trade a kick here, and then all of a sudden, wham, dude just out cold. Dude sleep. Submissions though, submissions they kind of yeah, they kind of make you swallow your pride. You have to tap out in front of everybody. Tell people I give up. This shit hurts, or I'm about to fall asleep. Tapping, One of the main event fighters knocked the other out and spit on him, and the brother tried to fight. Yeah, man. Damn. Yeah. Must been some heat right there. I mean, to spit on the man, that shit fucked up. The missions you either tap or nap. Yeah, exactly. It's fucked up. But hey, the messed up part is for the fighter is that they get themselves in that situation in the first place. But okay, we're back on access points because I don't know. It just this I asked this question for not only the anti movement, but for the people who are also prideful enough to say that they're part of this space. Where's the access? Who's doing access? How does one become a part of it? Say that there's an inspiring content creator that runs across one of these channels. I even use mine as an example. They run across my channel and they say, "Hey, this seems like a cool environment. I'll become part of this guy's audience." And, one day he may come up on the panel and say, "Hey, check out my content, dog." I'd be like, "Yeah, sure. I'll check out your content." I check out the content. I say, "Great, awesome, good effort." I might say that. So for that content creator, they now want to make more content as it relates to the topics that are thrown around in this space. Because believe me, from what I see, for a lot of content creators that already exist in and around and adjacent to this space, the topic is relationships, whether they want to see themselves as talking about relationships or not. If you're a content creator that complains about guys talking about relationships and those are the only broadcasts that you're making, then your broadcast is about relationships. Either worried about what this guy are talking about, or worried about what he does with his penis. You got these dick police and motherfuckers in this, in and around and adjacent to this space. Man said, "I'm still in Dublin, Ireland. LOL." Robert Nelson says, Kevin at my foot doctor. One of the married techs gave me her number on the sneak, calling me a reminder of my appointment. Dude, they are sneaking. I don't want them problems. Ooh, they are sneaking around because that's who they are. I'm here to tell people to prepare for anything. I'm not here to tell people if you do things a uniform, textbook sort of way that it's going to solve all their problems. But the popular conversation is always going to be centered around the black relationship. Now, what should we be here for? That's something that I couldn't define for you. All I can say is get the black man's perspective out here. No pun intended on the word perspective. But for a lot of these men who come to these spaces, a lot of them just want to know that they are not alone in this. A lot of guys come in here like, I know I'm not crazy, but certain things, like certain things, a little whack, a little messed up. I just wanted to know if it's not just me, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. No, it's not just you. But here's the one thing I will tell you, as opposed to many others. Um, what is going to define you is your ability to deal with those things. That's what's going to define you. I gravitate to this space for the black male advocacy, but apparently some people have other agendas. Unfortunately, says Art Install TV. Those are facts, not just a feeling. Like there's this feeling that from a large amount of people that this space is anti-black woman. Said that was a fact. That was a fact that it was an anti-black woman space. I said, how how do you get a fact from a feeling? See, I can turn around and say no, it's not anti-black woman space, and that's a fact. So now we have a stalemate. We have what I think versus what that other person thinks. So there. I gravitate to this space for the black male advocacy. Yeah. Mm. See something real quick. Because according to some people, according to some content creators that are out there, they have the same broadcast every fucking time they go on the air. Some of us shouldn't be here, including myself. We shouldn't be here. So if anyone could tell me who are the guys that give access, I will give you a thumbs up. Oh man, I will give you a thumbs up. I was I was shocked. Usually they use the office number. Just saying, by having a regular conversation, yet some way, somehow, you get their attention just by being a regular person, just by being a bystander. Black manosphere was destined to come to fruition. It's only so long that mainstream media can continue to smear the black men reputation. I tell black men, like I tell anyone, we as a group should not be, with that being said, working to give detractors ammo, meaning that we, as black men, have to check our own behaviors when we navigate from point A to point B, back to point A to point C, and so on and so forth. We have to check our own behaviors. Not to say that we have to buy into the stereotypes. Just saying. Louis, Louis Conyers was good. What is up? So I didn't say that as being obligatory. I'm saying it because it's true. I can't check another group of people's behavior unless mine is checked first. Think about it though. It's not that when you're confronted with the situation, you have to check your behavior then. You're supposed to check your behavior before you leave the door and interact with people. See, what I'm saying is you leave it up to the other side. If you have done everything correctly, then it's obviously not going to be your fault. Shoot, but it's probably going to be your fault anyway because you're a black man in America. And when I say stuff like that, I don't mean, oh no, you can't say nothing to the black man. Black men are above correction. No, I'm not saying that shit. That's people who usually push that kind of thing. They're just trying to straw man and take you away from the actual conversation. Brothers gotta understand that black men are behind enemy lines. Yeah, well, we have to navigate intelligently. But what good is it? What good is me telling people that? What really good is it if people aren't going to implement it? If I'm not first implementing those same policies on myself, just like telling someone you need to eat more salad and all you eat is burgers. Yeah. So smoke show Sunday, we got 43 in here. Hopefully, all y'all press the like. Press that like button. All right, 34 likes. Which means I got 41 watching, which means somebody ain't pressed like yet. No dislikes. So I guess I'm doing okay. So let me look up something real quick since nobody wants to hit the link and tell me what their fucking problem is. Maybe I need to stop by another coping space and let them know who they are. I mean, shit, I mean every bit of that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Okay. Shit, love B Sky. I guess I ain't got no choice with that one. Smokeless Sundays. Thanks for the super chat. It was it smokeless Sundays. I mean, hey, you know what though? But people do believe that smoke is disrespect. That they have this idea that is you're supposed to get up here, disrespect, and yell at each other and curse each other out and all this other shit. So, all right, I know y'all heard about this. This shit would have been hilarious, but um, here, here's what it is. Kim Whitley, you know, y'all may know her from movies such as Next Friday and Black Dynamite. She has officially shut down rumors that she was in a threesome with Gerald Levert and Monique. Well, you know me, shit. I'm more I'm more prone to believe that that shit is actually true. Wow. I mean, I'm not gonna say what people think I'm gonna say and say, man, can you imagine that Gerald Levert, Monique, and then this was like Monique during her big days, because you know Gerald Levert, he's been dead for a minute. He's been dead for a little while. What year did he die in? Because I saw a video of him going through withdrawal, and it was one of the saddest things I had ever seen. Gerald Levert, that man died in 2006. This was this was before Precious Monique. Yeah, she was big then. Like, like whoever started that rumor was so bad with that shit. They was like, oh, they broke the bed. Talking about they said we broke the bed. I said people need to fucking stop. Do I think it happened? Yes. Like I said, it's Hollywood. I mean, they're in the music wing, but it's still Hollywood. All of them hang out together. Mm, girl, you know there ain't nothing I won't do for food. Sorry, I had to. But according to Kim Whitley, this isn't true. I know a couple of you out there might have heard that. Hold on. Oh man, but this didn't happen. So everybody need to calm down. Everybody. I said that bed held up three of those people. Wow. Said it wasn't true when he was dating her. She was actually in good shape. So I don't see him getting with Monique. R.I.P. Gerald Levert. Young Kim Whitley could get it. LOL. Absalon Payanki Television. What's good? Yep, them Levert albums were classics. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. They were they were perfect for the times that they came out in. Uh, that Kim looked like a freak. Shit, look look who look how she acted in Next Friday. That shit. Auntie Sugar. The LSG was a solid group. Yep. And to see she was on Martin. No, I don't. She might have guest starred in an episode or two with Martin, but she wasn't a regular cast member. It's real sad that Eddie lost both of his sons. That's because of drugs. That's because of drugs. Yeah, they were both on them drugs heavy. Uh-huh. So access points, gatekeeping. Okay. So I heard this. I heard Obsidian say this about Media Man. He said that Media Man was definitely in. So okay, so here's what I gathered from that. Here's what I gathered from that. Um, if Obsidian says he's in, and this man has yet to say that he is not in, then I don't know. I guess he's in. I guess is since it is, but asking you guys, is that a proper way to do things? I don't care. I agree. I agree with it. Mm. So drop this link again. He said he isn't. Yeah. Medium Man said that he isn't because he hasn't gotten the green like in. I don't want to get the context wrong, but he said that there's an entry point, and those entry points are usually through O'Shea, Obsidian, um, and I believe he mentioned Angry Man also, and I think BGS was also mentioned. So if Obsidian said that, then that and Medium Man said that you got to get in through one of them guys, I would probably say problem solved. But the thing is, one would probably at this point have to publicly declare that they are in. See, oh, see me. If the decision were mine, I would probably look for the most enthused guy, the guy with the most enthusiasm for it, the guy that doesn't mind repping it, not just as a brand, just like saying the words "Black Manosphere" gives you some type of status, but have some actual genuine reason for being here, and not be afraid of a dummy who just wants to sit around and hate all fucking day. Yeah. Oh, like, but see, here's the thing about that. It's like they always want to take credit for his creation and his formation. And but yeah, he did say something to the effect that yes, I'm out. So great, awesome. But they always like when it's necessary to use the word manosphere, they're using that word as it relates to their content. Yeah. I don't know if me and you watched the same video, but again, he said the reason why he's not in is because he hasn't gained access through one of the pillars, Obsidian. Obsidian would subsequently say that it's okay for Medium Man, but Medium Man has to acknowledge that. If he says in another video that he's not in and he didn't say it was because of that, or he definitely say, no, god damn it, I'm not in this black manosphere. Leave me alone with that shit. Then hey, he's not in. That's just reality. But the video that I saw, he said is because he didn't have access through one of the pillars. So if he is about black male media and a progression of black men, then his work would be worthy of him being in the. I mean, it is, but he has to make that decision. It is. It is. He's definitely in defense of black men. Definitely. And I mean, he uses actual numbers, but people don't. For some reason, we have a pretty contentious following of people who are against shit like that. Black men giving actual facts. If he got on some panels, maybe he wouldn't need to go through a pillar. And and that's what's important. The the strengthening of the black man's voice. That is what's important. Let's see, she did all of that. What does that mean? All of that cooning for nothing. The more allies, the better. Well, you also got to be ready at those times to go it alone. But what's good, chaos?
What's good, man? What's good? What's good? And I see Art in the building. What's good, Art? Um, the gatekeepers. You know, there was a lot of discussion for the last few years,
Yeah.
especially in the Black Master space. They've been talking about gatekeeping a lot of things, but still has not come to the terms and decision to, carry out the gatekeeping until you mentions now tonight. Um, I think black men don't have a problem with women in the space as a whole, in my opinion. That's what I see, Kev. And the reason why, because they know that the women bring the attention to the space. I don't want to say that, but it is what it is because if this
But
woman was so valuable, a lot of these dudes that go over to their channels, they just like let it rain.
I mean that is true. So my thing is, and I say it again, is that you got so many black male supporters in those spaces. How can you say it's anti-black woman sentiment? Generally
Mm,
from black men. Black men love black women. I'm sorry to say that. That's
yeah.
that's that's the truth. But as far as the access granted part, if you are a aspiring content creator, well, if you are a content creator that makes content that is pretty much in this area, and you come across the black manosphere and you want to be a part of it, how would that one content creator gain access
Mm,
if they wanted to?
Yeah, usually I don't come up because I'd be like so out of the loop. I couldn't even comment on what you're talking about, but I'm a little bit behind on what's going on with the gatekeeping thing.
Gatekeeping is just a word that's been thrown around. It people tendency to have a tendency to have this complaint that there are people who are gatekeeping, and one thing I keep hearing from like people who are detractors and people who want to disavow is that there's gatekeeping behind the scenes. There are certain factions that don't want other people here, and not I, it with me that's not a thing that I really see as mattering. But since that word is thrown around, I thought I'd use it tonight for tonight's title. So, how
I
does one get
remember,
access? Go ahead.
I remember hearing people talk about how groups are clicked in and they all planning to do A, B, and C when they get on panels and I'm still trying to figure out where they get this, how are they coming up with this stuff. I don't think anybody has ever checked these people,
Well, I will
or
say
even just
we can
questioned
start.
it.
We can start with vivid imaginations. I'll start right there. Vivid imaginations, paranoia. We can start right there also. Um, how can you gatekeep? How can you tell an audience not to watch somebody? People are going to watch who they want to watch. People who are going, like, all right, how did you get in? I would say
I didn't know I was in.
you didn't know you was in.
God damn, Art. Are you serious?
To be honest, because I don't really. I mean, the only people that I've like talked behind the scenes, like on the actual phone, was Charles, Dead Set, BMT, um, that. Oh, and Nagone and Mike V. That's about it. I haven't really, I haven't
uh,
really like have like this clicked in, exclusive membership type. I haven't. I'm just trying to figure out like. I mean, and I kind of comment a little bit on Friday. It's like just because people get along with certain people, uh, you gotta be considered the part of the club or something. And you already know in this space, all you got to do is say one or two things, and you're on the outskirts of everything. So it's not as was it clandestine? We use the word clandestine. I don't even know if that applies. Well, it's not. It's not as exclusive as people think it is. I could say that.
mm,
Some people just know how to get along with people. I'm sorry. Let's keep
some
it
people
real.
just some people just know how to be cool with others and treat them within a line of basic respect. That's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
I think so. I mean, I could be wrong.
Okay, so the purposely drawing lines because you're angry is totally unnecessary, correct?
That's my sentiments, especially us being black men.
Yeah.
You know, well, people gonna be who they are. I had to make peace with it. I did celebrate the times when people jump on my panel that the people that didn't get along but happened to have a cordial conversation on my panel. That was very rewarding. I was like, wow, I accomplished that. But I can't help what happens afterwards.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Meaning that you are going to get along with people no matter what the next man thinks or believes.
It's
Correct.
called a
Yeah.
code. It's being on code.
Yeah.
A black man in general, just as well as the black family, that's a code. I mean, if you're on code, it would take more than just what do you call it, philosophical differences to break you apart.
Well,
It would take more. We go into Malcolm and Martin, even though they have philosophical differences, they still were black men, and they were I know for sure they would definitely want to help each other if needed. It wasn't, no, I want to destroy Malcolm and I want to destroy Martin. that I think one of his last, when one of Malcolm's last speeches he said was in Coretta Scott King's church. You know, when he, yeah, when he was, it was at a church. So, like I said, people, I had to make peace, man. People gonna be who they are, and you can't force people to do stuff they don't want to do.
You can't
I just,
you, you can't make people get along, or you
I
can't.
do believe in the distance thing. You know, people gonna get along, then just
Gotta
you go
keep
that
away,
way and you go that
yeah,
way.
and we good.
Yeah. Yeah, just I mean, it's just I mean, that's the family thing where okay, you got the family cookout. Okay, so you know, put it this way. I mean, come on, man, you in Montgomery, so you know, you got the family cookout. You got two family members that really don't get along. Both of these people are not going to get their food served at the same time. Somebody gonna get their plate first, and somebody gonna get their plate later. Matter of fact, somebody gonna get their plate, and someone else gonna take their plate way on the other side. So how
Yeah,
come I can't get up there? No, you stay over here. Here's your food, man. Just chill and play dominoes over here. You know, I mean that's just the way it has to be.
Louis Conyer. Thanks for the super chat. Says salute panel in chat. Really appreciate it.
Big Lou. That's Jersey Lou.
Jersey Lou. Yeah, he said it takes energy to hate, but love is organic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a strong believer in that. I mean, some people push it to where even if you're on code, you still got to be away from people just to stay on code. You know, I have certain people that just hate my guts for no reason, like no good reason. And I'm like, okay, well, I could just still show some respect from a distance, you know, because I mean, I have to look at the greater good. You know, if someone has some like BS reason to hate or whatever, but at the same time they are influencing others, why should I destroy their you know what do you call it, what they got going? That's on code. You know what I mean? I can't let personality take away from what people are trying to do for our people.
Mm.
Can't do it. But maybe I'm old school. I think I'm old school. We out there. We're older exes, man. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to see our people. Why am I getting that echo?
that's me at home. Let me go on mute.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to make any enemies, especially if they are black men. And I understand that there are differences between us. We all don't have to think alike in order to get along, but uh, we should be able to disagree and to call each other out. Not in a way that is suggests like I got to throw fists with you if I disagree, but it that's how discourse that's how discourse goes. We don't have to agree with each other, but we can at least respect each other's boundaries. And some people don't get that. Some people just don't. Well, Ray Huntman was good.
If they all about this is my thing, man. You're gonna hear a little bit of noise. I'm getting back in my house.
Okay.
Um, my thing is if you all if you're all about the goodness of black men or whatever, I don't know why people have to solve all their problems on the live stream instead of just calling behind the scenes and chopping it up.
No,
You
because they
know,
need the views. That's why they won't do that shit.
so whatever it is, it's a waste of time. It's a bad look for black men. It's a extreme bad look. And I'm quite sure people come up with all kinds of justifications. I've been seeing this kind of action. Oh, hold on. Let me get this alarm. Okay, sorry about that. Gotta keep my head on the swivel around here. No, but I think I mean I've been seeing this for a while. Matter of fact, when I first got into space, people do this stuff, man. They the men and the women in the space. You have an issue and you got each other's email, hangout, whatever it is, but all of a sudden you see your name in a, what do you call it? You see your name in a title and they have some issue with you, and then all of a sudden people start jumping up on the panel, sharing how they feel about how bad they feel about you too.
Mm,
And it's like, aren't these people fathers and business owners and professional people? It's like,
yeah, yeah.
wow.
They are, and they claim to be, and that. I mean, my idea is people should carry themselves accordingly. I'm not telling them not to use their freedom of speech or say what they think, but that's their image. You know, that's the image they want to portray. So, I mean, people have a right to call
Yeah.
out your contradictions.
Yeah, I prefer, like I said, and in my quote unquote perfect world, I just prefer people to just hash their stuff out behind the scenes. Even if you walk away disagreeing, just handle it. Just take care of business and stop showing the rest of the world how you don't get along. It's horrible. It looks bad, and it's like, wow. I don't know how else I could put it. But what's going on? This Big Jersey Lou in the building.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up?
All right, I'm
Good.
waiting to find out what else that we run out, what we're running out on, so I can go out and buy it. But I'm not buying no turkeys.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear about what happened in Louisiana?
No, they ran out of boudin.
Nah, some with the salt water, contaminating the water supply, and
Oh,
everybody hitting all the supermarkets and stores, Costco's, Walmart's, BJ's, just gobbling up water. I think the governor put a state of emergency or something in the
oh
state.
man, they can't leave Louisiana alone, man. Jeez, that's crazy.
Wow,
Why can't that happen to DeSantis? No, I'm joking.
man, that's a very human issue. Hey, your water supply.
Damn, salt water.
Yeah, yeah. Just type up a state of emergency, Louisiana water.
Mm,
Uh oh, that's probably. Oh well, I got family out there. That's on my dad's side in New Orleans. That's crazy. But I am due for a trip to the SIP. But I'm going out to the Montgomery in January, Kev. So I'll probably look you up.
okay. Oh,
I got to make
cool.
sure my son get an apartment out there.
Okay.
Them dorms off the chain. Got to get him another place.
What school? What school is he attending?
Alabama State.
Oh, okay. HBCU.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they got to do something about that housing though, man. That's why I don't say much about it on the air. But they lose people when they have stuff like that happen. But but they working on it.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah, I
what?
said oh, go ahead.
So is he looking at any particular part of town?
Anyone near the college,
Mm,
and he has some housing money because his housing is part of his tuition package, so
okay.
he'll have enough to cover you know 6 months or so. I don't know, but
Cool.
he might have a room. He might have a roommate in. So, and plus he wants to join the frat. So I'm like, good
Okay.
luck with that. They run the yard over there.
Well, yeah. Which one?
Omega Psi Phi Fraternity
Oh,
Incorporated.
oh, you want to be a Q?
That's why I asked you about what's his name? Benny Cook. That's one of my
Okay.
frat brothers. He's
Okay.
he's known around there. I mean, They got nicknames around. I don't know if you know my frat brothers with their nicknames.
Okay.
They got a
I
brother
still.
named Boo Man.
Boo
They
Man.
got a brother Boo Man. Yeah, the
Yeah, Boo
barber.
Man run. Yeah, he runs the barber shop I used to go to.
Yeah, okay, that's my
Yeah, he
frat
cut my hair a
brother.
few times. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was looking out for my son for a minute. Uh, who else? Cup was named Howard Cooper,
Mm,
older brother, light skin.
familiar.
They call him. Well, actually, they call him Cupcake, but it ain't what it sound like.
Yeah, I know. I know.
But I call him Cup. Um, yeah, man, I hung out there. I was out there in Montgomery for a while. I had to introduce my son to the bros out there. They took care of him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
because I had
So,
to. Because my son has been in black school environments all his life because they support they support him better as far as his academic needs. You know, because I figured that kind of complete his academic process. Shit, when he finished, man, he gonna have his credential already. So I was
good.
happy about that.
Oh,
He'll be able to
after.
teach. He'll be able to teach the fall after he graduates. So that part they got that, but there's some things that they need some help on, man.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, I agree. I agree. And being around that all my life, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
they said Howard's worse as far as housing. Howard, um, I thought about Alabama A&M, but they cost more up there in Huntsville.
Yeah. Up in, yeah, what do they call it? Normal Alabama.
That's what.
Yeah, yeah, that's the town that's A&M is in. It's in Huntsville, but it's in Normal.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, because my aunt's over there. I mean, the Hidden Figures ladies.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
them? My
yeah.
aunt is one of those now. She's high up there in NASA. So I sent my son out there so he can be close to family. Cause I didn't want him to be around my family in Mississippi because there's always some issues with their colleges out there.
Okay. Sound like you come from a very well educated, balanced background.
Somewhat. I'm probably the only one holding the mantle. My mom passed away. Yeah, but you know
So
how it is, man. I mean, it's college, church, and family. Yeah, out there.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's the part. That's the part of my southern roots. They take education serious. You know, even the
They
ones
do.
that are not in school, they still say, "Boy, you better get that education."
Oh yeah, that's something I heard all my life.
Right.
And it's the importance of school and the importance of an education.
Yeah. Cause
And
yeah.
and we push this message like it isn't, but it actually is.
We hurt now because we're lacking it. We are really hurting, and people leave my live stream when they hear me talk about that.
Oh, when you talk about stuff that has actual meaning.
Yeah, because they want to be assured that you don't need it, so you're doing well. And it's like if you were doing well, you wouldn't hear so many complaints about the job market, uh, leadership, black male leadership. We say it's partially the gynocracy, but hell, that's after you get old enough, you should know then that okay, well, I'm away from my mom, so now I need to do what I have to do to get this paper.
Yeah, what's stopping you now?
Yeah, exactly. You rather work for what, Lin Fu or Habib or something, thinking that he gonna give you that contract after you get your trade or whatever. There's a lot of brothers that are very professional in the trades and stuff like that. That's hurting because people that don't look like us is hired. They're not hiring them.
Oh yeah,
They're
and
really hurting. Hmm.
even if you get somebody that look like us, then they're gonna look out for themselves more so than they would look out for somebody like you because it's not on some self hate shit. They just more so looking out for their own necks because they got people looking at them.
You know, it's funny too. They'd probably say, "I'd rather hire somebody other than black just because of some bad experiences with some knuckleheads,
Yeah.
or to prove that they ain't racist."
Like
I'm like, wow.
mean the little quota.
Yeah, and everybody else. I mean, if you go to a Latino establishment, you look in there, is all Latino, Asian, all Asian. Don't even get me started on the Indian.
Unless they need somebody to do security.
Right, security,
They get
or they may have.
the
Uh huh.
big buff black guy to sit at the door that knows everybody in the hood to deter everybody from fucking shit up.
Exactly. The only time you see black people in these establishments is when with the ACLU or the Department of Labor, they might come in there and then bring in a couple of token black people for 2 months. You know, that's probably the only time. That's why I'm saying we need more black male leadership so we can at least have a better chance of getting these brothers with trade certification some employment, some opportunities, give them the contracts. You know, I've been saying, actually, I got that from my mom, to be honest. She said, get both, get you a trade and get you a degree. Don't just do one.
Yeah, because people get off with hoodwinked into thinking that just the education and the piece of paper is the one thing that matters. Which it does matter to a lot, but to have something you know how to do with your hands or to have a skill is an extra plus.
Man, I'm good at Well, I do a little, well, not carpentry per se, but I make some of my own furniture. Would that be carpentry? I guess so. But yeah, I make some stuff in here. Like, where'd you buy it? I'm like, I made that myself. Like the table we eat on, I made that from scratch. You know, I
Hell
made
yeah.
the entertainment center. You know, I got the wood and everything from Luan wood. Oh my God, I love Luan. Got some Luan wood, stained it up, nicely sand and smooth. So
But do they still have wood shop in school nowadays?
no, out here, no. They're taking away auto mechanics too.
Well, when I entered high school, that's when they took out auto mechanics, wood shop, iron. Um, what they had was they started the vocational schools that was directly, with that type of field, but they took it out all the rest of the high schools.
Yeah, they trying to fill in the vocational place with tech classes, tech courses. Because you got to remember, man, when you have a wood shop class, that's a lot of money. You got to get the machinery and the wood on a regular basis, and then auto mechanic. You got to get these cars, engine parts. You know, I mean, I used to love auto mechanic because you get to bring your car in and work on it for free.
Hmm.
So I was shit. I learned how to do everything: spark plug, what do you call it, a tune up, brakes. Like I was good with the front brakes, but I still couldn't figure out the rear. Then oil change, I did everything. Is it just me on the panel?
Oh, it's not. It's
Yes.
not.
Yeah, I
It's
hear
not.
you.
It's, it's not just you, man. We're here.
Man, you're the
Yeah.
60s, 80s, 90s pro black. Blackly
But
black.
I had the distinguishment and honor of having a dad that was a pretty much a DIY person. So I kind of carried that stuff with me into adulthood. So you know, I mean, it's not something that I'd fine tuned into a skill that I can make money from, but it does save you a lot of money when you know how to do things around the house instead of calling
Right.
somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got that from my dad too. I mean, I wasn't raised by my pops, but the time when I was with him growing up, I did learn from him. Like if you can do it yourself, straight up. Even if you have to cook something, don't buy it from a Chinese restaurant. Find out the ingredients and make it yourself.
yeah,
Yeah. You know, without the Chinese putting them in, they probably couldn't you rap for all we know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what like a lot of people putting in their food.
Yeah, especially I mean with black folk. I mean I'm glad you said that, Kev, because you know you know how back then in the quote unquote civil rights days where white folks couldn't stand you, but
Mm.
right in that at the beginning of the whole integration part with the restaurants and people didn't like you and they spit in your milkshake and all kinds of stuff. Now you're dealing with all kinds of people that are not white or black that's making your food and they still can't stand you.
Damn, can't be breathing hard.
He's doing
Uh,
push-ups.
Okay.
oh, I'm sorry. My microphone, like I'm talking through a headset, so it's in the path of my nose.
Yeah,
But
I got mine on the side.
yeah, but the thing is, you're right about that, man. They got people handling your shit all kinds of ways right now, and they're not cleaning up the equipment either. So
Yeah,
so
you got Latinos, Asians, Arabs, all the people that won't hire you are making your food too, and they can't stand you and they can't even explain why they don't like you. But it's a lot going on in them kitchens. And you wonder why you got the sniffles, or you wonder why the food is too salty, or you wonder why uh, something's going on. It ain't something ain't right with this bag.
yeah, I mean, you
I mean,
gotta
you
learn
out in
how to.
Alabama, you good. You got a lot of black people there, so
Oh
you
yeah,
good.
oh yeah. We cook for ourselves, or we know where to go to
Yeah,
get food.
but man, dude, when I went to Walmart over there, you talking about some segregation? I never seen nothing like it. I was even when I'm not from there, I was like, okay, let me move over here. It was automatic. You can tell. Okay, that they had the look on their face like, don't say nothing to me. You know, he didn't have to say it though. It was like, wow. So
Yeah, we already know better down there. I mean, some you could approach like that. The other ones, we automatically know. I
yeah,
mean,
because over here in California with Walmart, it's like the melting pot. That's why I was like, whoa,
well, kind of like everybody love everybody, or
damn near. Let me get this for you. Sure, here, take. It's like everybody's like cool and friendly with each other over here. But man, it's the same in Mississippi too. My folks in Vicksburg, because I was over there at Walmart there.
hey, but I tell you one thing though. Well, we're not the ones keeping it up. It's them.
I know. And you got more black folks over there than white folks too, right?
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
yeah. And I mean, the mentality is every time we move to a side of town, they'll move away to another side of town. And it does seem like the city favors them as far as resources because whenever a storm comes through, they're the first ones to get their lights back on and the neighborhood's cleaned up. The sides that we're on, as far as black people, they get to us last, and that's a reality.
Yeah. Wow. But I wish I had enough money to. Well, actually, I do have enough. I just didn't have enough time. Sorry. Wish I have enough time to do that. To the this is called the Turkey Classic.
Turkey Day Classic.
Man, I hear a lot of good things about that. I want to
Yeah,
check that out.
very very good time in Southern black culture because people be wearing their nicest outfits or they wear their their team paraphernalia to represent their pride. They tailgate. All of the black bands converge onto the spot. I know there was somebody saying something negative about the band atmosphere, but the band really adds to the atmosphere. I mean, it's really about culture.
Well, what I
Kind of,
wanted to, I didn't get to say it Friday, because people gonna say what they say, but I think the part that a lot of us overlook, because I'm not really HBCU, I'm pretty much PWI, is that the band goes back over 100 years. People don't know that.
oh yeah,
That's been the staple of black colleges. So regardless if it's negative or positive, that's something that's going to be it's kind of hard to even adjust adjust to something different. So, and I'm not making excuses, but when we talk about how the band is more important than anything else, the conversation that we didn't have enough was, you know, if we could, bring the money in, the football team, all that kind of stuff, but a guarantee that the band will not be uh, tarnished or harmed. Because I think that's the part where people are kind of like losing the focus. Because that's nobody else have a band like a swag band.
not at all,
Nobody.
not at all. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to go to a game. Is to see, like, I used to hate when the other team band didn't come because that was such a big part of the game for me.
Yeah.
I watched the game too, and I even knew some of the athletes. But it would especially be a plus if there was a football team that was worth something and the bands were there. Like the atmosphere becomes what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's a complicated topic. Very top complicated. Because I know I mean, I think it's more than just money. And the thing is, I think that's the other part too, is people got to be willing to make some kind of changes to even try something to beef it up because people are depending on money, from other sources and, the government, whatever. But if it was done right, man, shit, they would have had, whew, if it was done right, man, all the HBCUs be winning over that one man. They would have been
Oh yeah,
doing well,
oh yeah, but
but hey, it's hindsight.
yeah, and sometimes we are our own worst enemy, which is unfortunate because
Yeah.
there was a lot of things that did happen with Alabama State as far as who we trusted to lead us into the next time period. I mean, some people took money and pocketed it. We built the new
Hmm.
basketball arena, and the guy named it after himself. I mean, it was so much. People who was associated with were going to jail because of mishandling of money. It's always money.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't get to mention that Mo Williams was the basketball coach at Alabama State.
Uh,
Right now,
No, he's gone. Something happened.
Did Mo Williams win championship with LeBron back in 2016?
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he was.
So now he coached for the college that he used to play for.
I don't know where he went, but he was
No,
the
no, no.
coach
He
for my
went to
son.
Alabama. Yeah, he went to Alabama. He played for Alabama.
Yeah, I don't know where he went, but yeah, he was the basketball coach.
I
My
think
Yeah,
he
son
got
was supposed to
yeah. Remember, Art,
try out.
if you remember, back when he was drafted the same year LeBron was drafted, 2003, from Alabama. He played for like, I think he played for like 14 seasons, like 13, 14 seasons. The 13 seasons was in 2016 when he won championship. And after the next
I
year,
never. I never knew why he left, or maybe he got. I don't think he got. I don't know what happened, man. I really don't. But my
I think
son was supposed to try out with him because they had walk-ons.
Yeah.
well, they said Mo Williams is at Jackson State.
He's at Jackson State now.
Yeah, he's at Jackson State.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think of what do you think of people celebrating Dion losing yesterday?
Haterism. It's just like think they all
Yeah.
cold, straight up.
Jealousy.
Find that to be weird.
First of all, anybody with common sense would have realized that Colorado was not going to go 12-0. What he accomplished already is a success for the season, and people were getting misinterpreting what he was like with all the hype and everything. That was to get the boosters and the eyes on Colorado and to motivate his team. And they played far beyond expectations. They achieved so much. And honestly, I thought they were only going to win 5 games. And they're already there, 2 more games. And to me, they're being successful. But also, as a coach, you got to have high standards. So you motivate your players to play above what they're expected to do. And if nobody never played sports or understand coaching or sports, those are the ones that's making these ignoramus comments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, also, so what if he's confident? And you know what I'm saying?
Well, you can't be a black man and be confident, Art.
Right?
Yeah,
Isn't yeah?
that's that's
You
the
got to know
same.
your place.
That's the same thing they penalized Cam Newton for when he was doing the dab in the end zone.
Yeah.
They gave him a sensitivity coach, and then he came on
God
TV
damn.
talking about that eighth inch deep of skin. That's when he came with that bullshit.
So doesn't it reek Jack Johnson whenever he does knockouts? I don't know if y'all
Yeah.
know the story of Jack Johnson whenever he knocked white people out.
Oh
When they
yeah,
lynch they would have lynched somebody.
I think that was part of it, but the other part is he wasn't allowed to look in the audience.
Mm.
I'm like, man, I'm telling you. Yeah, but that whole know your place and all that.
Look, I could understand a lot of these old white coaches because he's bucking the system. He's going against the culture of college football coaching. He's going against their culture. But people of his fucking color, I mean, it, 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 I'm just boggled by it, and this is why we can't even get nowhere. Period in society. It's because of this buffoonish behavior.
Would you believe I'm all over? I'm in a area where it's like white and Asian. Would you believe the majority of them people are wearing Colorado t-shirts on Saturday?
Oh yeah, I believe it
I mean,
because they
that's how
see
much of an effect he
Dion.
has.
Because other people see Dion, he's a winner, and people are going to gravitate towards winners,
Yeah.
and they feel that aura. And even
So,
them, like some of them got on the hype train because of media. I mean, media and propaganda did his job with Colorado, yes, but people's no. If you look at, he got a pedigree, and they saw what he did in Jackson State, and they know that he's going to achieve a good amount of success in Colorado if Colorado University continues to support him.
mhm. Yeah.
Like I was listening it was like a month back on I was listening to Boyce Watkins, and they were the subject of the video was when he said he probably was going to get his leg amputated, and his wife said that's karma for him leaving Jackson State. Why would you say something like that?
Wow.
And Boyce,
Wow.
he had that laugh like, oh well, so like the same, it was that same laugh that when Kevin Samuels died.
Wow. Yeah, we're an off cold people, man. We're so off cold.
Yeah.
She looked like Kim Whitley too a little bit.
Probably was slinging that thing more than Ken Whitley. Like
Yeah,
this
she's a
this
waste of
guy
light
is
skin.
last. This guy is last in line. He was last in line.
Dr. Boyce Watkins. I ain't gonna lie though, he supported. He gave us some money for my mother's funeral, so I
Oh, okay.
appreciate
Well,
him.
okay. Well, let me stop then.
I
Uh,
always mention that every now and
All
then.
right. Peace up, the Boyce Watkins.
yeah, let me.
He sent some money.
Yeah. Well, that makes him a good person then if he's willing to help.
Yeah, because he worked with my mom and BGS's mentor, so he did some work with them. My mom and
Okay.
BGS mentor were good friends. That BGS talks about, they were good friends. But again, I
Okay.
never saw BGS in person.
Uh,
We just know some of the same people.
well, I mean, sometimes certain folks are just meant to cross paths. you
Yeah,
know,
we
if,
probably
if
did cross, but probably didn't make the connection.
I mean, well, I'm talking about ways, by ways of internet also, stuff like
Yeah,
that. I
yeah,
mean,
I gotta call her tomorrow.
if you can make those associations,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
but
but
that
going back to go ahead.
go ahead, Art.
No, I said going back to Dion though. Um, I mean, he should be like probably one of your best inspirations to start from scratch and make something big because he's always thinking big and he's using his connections and resources. I think that's a takeaway that people are not really gravitating to. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, Art, I got a question for you.
Mhm.
If this was the 90s or 2000s and Dion did the same thing, do you think he would have got the same hate from the community?
Hell no. He would have way more support.
Because I remember when Ray Rhodes became the coach of Green Bay, and practically his whole fucking coaching staff was black. And when they fired him because unfortunately the team didn't produce, everyone was livid. And where I'm at, I'm in Jets and Giants country, and everybody was supporting, rooting for Green Bay unless they played against the Jets or the Giants for him to be successful.
Yeah, man. Remember when Doug Williams was taking people to task at the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You know, all they kept talking about was him. You know what I mean? So
Oh, even with Randall Cunningham. And,
yeah,
and the Eagles is hated, but everybody was a Randall Cunningham fan.
yeah. There was always somebody. There was always a celebration of somebody achieving something that looked like you. That's what and this is the part that if we're gonna throw the Ganagasi's name in there, let's keep it 100. We had a lot of women in the Ganagasi that loved them some white men. And why do I bring that up? Because the children were learning how to love white men too. And some of those
Yes.
children grew up to be coons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep
We
it
raised
100, man. Yeah.
we
So
groom our children for the next to be the next bootlicking for the white man. Ain't that so?
yeah, we got street coon. We got a big wave of street coons too, man. That's a whole nother no whole nother layer.
I'll say these street dudes that straighten up and stand at attention.
Oh, but they still got their pants sagging, but they still cooning.
uh, oh yeah,
Hat
those
hat on
guys.
backwards, cornrows, but cooning.
What thug coonery?
Yeah, thug coonery. Somebody mentioned that too. I forgot who talked about that. Was it probably with Edward? Yeah, I think it was Edward Anderson. He said two things. One was what street coons, and some other thing he said. I forgot what. I want to mess his message up, but yeah, that's a whole. That's a we have an
So the
epidemic of
city
that
got a
right now.
raccoon infestation.
Yeah, man. Oh, I think it was the sister, right? We got the Boom Quisha. She's real heavy on the whole coonstress type thing. They're not prim and proper anymore. You know. But hey, welcome to America.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that goes to the lack of reading culture. I
Hmm.
mean, even when I came up, it was very emphasized in my home that you were told about what happened in the past and the ramifications that it caused and what to look out for. Now it's like everything is kumbaya, but we still in this twilight zone.
Really? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Because I got my uh, adapter in to make sure that I speak at the same time. But that's why it was so important to keep all of our black scholars' name mentioned. You know, all your John Henry Clarks and your John Amos Wilson and all them people.
John Henry
Not
Clark, Amos
Doc,
Wilson.
Doctor Amos Wilson. Well, I was
Yeah.
thinking John. Oh, thinking John Amos.
Not James Wilson.
Dr. Amos Wilson. Yeah, I mean we don't mention them enough, and I noticed I think the YouTube kind of hurt it because everybody was so inundated with video, it didn't make them want to read it. If you
And
did
here's the
read something, oh,
No,
go
because
ahead.
people got lazy. They want to read, man. You remember what Amos would have said best? Art. You see his lectures. He always referenced the books, and when you turn the pages, when you go through paragraph and words, you slightly develop a headache. It hurts your head going through the words.
they don't got
Yeah.
the attention span to even listen to those lectures.
Hell, let me tell you something. People don't
And they
got
on
attention enough
YouTube.
to watch regular videos now. That's how bad the society has worn down, dumbed down people.
I still have a plethora of DVDs and VHS tapes with all the lectures and stuff. This generation is a microwave generation. If anything go past 20 minutes, they're going to lose interest.
Yep.
You
Feel
gotta
sorry
remember
for
there's a
them.
premise, and I keep saying this. Some people don't like when I say it, but the premise goes: if I like what I'm hearing, it must be true. If I like the person that's saying what they're saying, it must be true. If I heard it before, it must be true. So think about that premise when they're taking in information. You got to like the person to take in information, right? You got to like what you hear. I mean, there's some things like, for example, when uh, when Brother Lewis talks about the food shortage and the things that are coming
Mhm.
down the pipe. So since they don't like what he's saying, oh, this dude's making this up, or he's exaggerating. But it's like just because you don't like what he's saying, don't mean it's not true. You know, we still have a backwards way of thinking when we start processing things, and I hate to say it, we get that from our single mom, some of our single moms.
Well,
You know,
I was talking about this for almost 2 years on Clubhouse, and I was in rooms where we were discussing it, and surprisingly, I got more pushback from the men. And what was funny, well, it's not funny, but it was all women that were hitting me up in the back chats, like, what should I buy? Because they the ones with the families. They got children. And it was like a group of us. It was like a bunch of preppers and people. Like it was a mixed room with white, black, and in Spanish, and it was people just giving tips like this: what you need for prepping. It was me and two other people that worked in retail, food retail. We were telling, discussing. We were from different regions in the country, and we were talking about what was going on, and it was mostly black men that got pushed, that was given pushback. The white men was co-signing it, like, yeah, that's true. I see this here, and all women were like, "Well, what do I need to buy? What do I need if I get a blackout or whatever?" And they, and that was the thing that was very disheartening about it.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thought. I mean, that's a thought process, And people hate when we say that, but just because you say the word gynocracy or HR, it's not about the women being present. It's about the way you think. Some people think the way that the gynocracy operates.
It's a system.
Right. So that's the part I think people are not making that connection. Like you would have thought, okay, this is a man, he's in charge or whatever, but he's doing things, he's making his decisions that his mother would make instead of what his father would think or do. And that's where we're hurting right now. We're hurting. And we're not trying to remedy the issue or even address it to where we can start fixing it or trying to find ways to improve it. We're just trying to make people take that back. Stop saying that. It's like that's not going to help.
Yeah, because their ideal solution has a dollar sign behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. So
if you're not trying to drop a bag of money in my lap and help me solve all the problems that I caused, I have no reason to listen to you or respect you. That's what they think. That's what they believe leadership is. What they can gain from it. It's
The
not. It's
gynocracy is not even real because men allowed this ish to go on in the first place. Cartel.
do you agree or do you disagree? I agree to an extent. The reason why I agree to an extent is because that's all you hear from these old niggas. Leave these women alone.
Leave my mama alone.
Yeah.
Well, they're the ones that socializing the young males into the system.
Oh yeah.
And how long was that going? This is like a long process. This ain't no new phenomenon. I think the new phenomenon is that we're actually addressing it and talking about it more and going more in depth. That kind of thing. I think that's where the people are kind of like taken aback, like, wow, you guys are talking about this. I think that's the problem, Because I think, and the thing about this too, the question would be, when people want you to not talk about it, whatever, is that their way of saying they like the way things, they like the things the way they are now? There's no need
Yes.
for
You just
improvement.
answered your question. Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Not only like the things where they're at, but they thrive the ways things are at. As long as it benefits them, they said, why change it? Are you out of your mind? I like the nest.
Hey, Art.
Yes, sir.
Are you reading any new books lately?
Haven't had the time. I've been writing books. No,
Oh, for real?
No, I have to revise my part 2 drawing book because my students are moving kind of fast. That's why I said I'm having some productive time at work.
Well, so I'm about to reread Color Monitors.
Okay. I think probably in November I can start reading a little bit more, without ripping and running. Because that's the thing. If your students are like eating the hell, like how they're like constantly taking in your teaching, and their skills are how do you say it? They're really strong, productive. You can't. You got to have what is it, the advanced stuff ready, so it can continue. It's like running a track race, and then all of a sudden you stop and expect the winner expect to uh, carry on in the middle of the race and catch up with everybody else. Uh, you got to keep it consistent. If that makes, I don't know if I made sense. It's hard. It's really hard to have a clear thought at night. It really is.
Yeah, well, that's what it does to you sometimes, especially with people with a regular routine.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, I see what you mean. It's like a lot of people aren't used to men asserting ourselves. They're not used to it. So when it does happen, people see it as a strange and alien thing, especially when it's coming from a place of okay, you're fucking up. You're fucking up because I mean some of the most effective teachers that I've had in my life were not only men, but they were men that could be straight up with me. I didn't have this sentiment of just because he is who he is, I got to fight against that.
yeah,
Something is getting lost in translation as far as today's people are concerned, and it has to point somewhere. You know, it's not going to point to me because I don't give out stupid ass advice like that. You know, I try to make sure that I present what gives you the more sensible outcome. But
right,
a lot of people don't like that though, for some reason. Like, in order for me to be effective, I have to have some type of large city with everything that we need built before I have the chance to say anything.
yeah,
Provide for all of your needs and all of your wants at the same time, and that would be the qualifier. But
yeah. I couldn't.
I
Mm,
but even with that, even if we're able to provide that, we still wouldn't get those results. People will find a way to just get out of it.
yeah, I used to come up with all kinds of theories, but like I said, people are gonna be who they are, and they got to find their way through their journey. But I think I would advise people, if you have to go that route, you need to do it on your own 10 toes instead of trying to grab somebody to, ask you to go down that road. It's not good, you know. And that goes for all kinds of different things that people try to claim and champion.
Oh yeah,
I even tell my, because we got legitimate students too, right? I even tell them, because they're every now and then, they got to talk all kinds of stuff to us. So my professional way of addressing them is that you know, just do you, and don't use people to define who you are. You know, because if you keep using people to validate who you are, then you're going to constantly question your existence. So you need to figure out who you are and stop trying to bring people in your world to validate you, because all you're going to do is to set yourself up with disappointments. And I don't think I'd be fired for saying that though.
Mm.
hey,
But they
well,
listen. I mean, they take it in. Ain't no like, how could you say that? They take it in.
yeah. Bad hombre. What's good?
Peace. How you good brothers doing today?
What's up?
Uh,
What's
You
up?
do. We doing?
Yeah, I just wanted to come up here real quick, and somebody had made a comment about black women loving white men, and I wanted to throw this out there. Do you all think that this has anything to do with, just hear me out, with the music? Because my parents' generation, the music that our people were listening to, they called it soul music for a reason. Talking about the Marvin Gaye, the Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway. Um, this was black people singing about black love, but we don't have that shit anymore. It's just about WAP, ass, money, and cars.
I
So do
think it's
you
more from
think?
TV shows,
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you go
TV
back
shows
to
and
like,
commercials.
if you think back to One Life, was it One Life to Live and Days of Our Lives and all these different things? There were a time where a lot of black women stayed at home and watched soap operas.
Mm-hmm.
So they really fell in love with these guys. And even took that, and if you think about how Bill Clinton won, it wasn't just black people, it was black women, because Bill Clinton looked like one of the stars from the nighttime soaps. People don't understand. He was considered handsome to black women. So
Somebody said commercials. Have you all noticed the trend now? Whenever they show a family, it's either a Hispanic family, and very rarely you'll see a black man, but he'll be with an Asian or a
yeah,
Hispanic,
that's
and it,
true.
and it'll be a black woman alone, like the Regina King Wells Fargo commercial, where she's just going to people's houses. They're coupled up, and she's by her fucking self. Have you all noticed that too?
Oh yeah, easy. I sure do. Definitely. We've been talking about that for a while. I think the one that people start pointing out was that Cheerios commercial with the dad in one room and the mixed kid in the other room. I don't know if you ever met Cheerios commercial.
Yeah, I remember that Cheerios commercial. They went ape shit over that.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
I saw a commercial. I was watching the game Thursday, and it was a Carnival Cruise commercial. So of course it was three black women on a fucking cruise together, and one of them said, "You know what? Next year we're gonna have to bring more of us here." Everybody else on this ship was coupled up, like the white people, the Asians, Hispanics. They was all in couples, but they had three sisters going by themselves.
What's up,
Yeah,
BGS?
we got the master teacher.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up,
BGS
BGS?
was good.
Where's the smoke at, man? Ain't no smoke tonight. What's going on?
I,
It's
I
just
came here so I can breathe.
Okay.
we just had some level headed gentlemen speaking once again.
Okay. That's a change. That's a switch.
Switch. Shoot, the odd thing is if actual smoke would actually show up, you know, that would be the odd thing. That would be the anomaly. So
Yeah,
what bring
I
so
figured.
so
Mhm.
so so what brings you up here tonight, BGS? Did you
I'm
hear
just
anything interesting or?
just passing through. That's all. The whole thing about the Dion Sanders thing. Like I said, he's already won. And I was listening to this guy. He does a sports show. Black guy does a sports show called Dreamers Pro. He follows basketball, right? He said he very seldom follows football because he doesn't understand it, and his wife doesn't follow any sports at all. But he decided to turn on the football game, right? With the Colorado Oregon football game, and his wife sat down and joined him, and she never does that.
Hmm.
So that tells you that what he's done is transcended sports. That's what I was trying to tell the other guys. I said they talk about the X's and O's and what goes on the field, and how football is organized. I said it doesn't match to the TV ratings.
And
Okay.
BGS, remember I told you I go to the farmers market on Saturdays,
Yeah.
and it's like majority like what white and there's some Asians and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Uh huh.
majority of them are wearing Colorado shirts.
Colorado shirts, right? Imagine if he had stayed there, they could have persuaded him to stay there another 2 years. Instead of having Colorado on hand, they had Jackson State University on their swag.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to really know anything about the school, just have to wear the jersey because it's cool.
Yeah, because it's a brand.
Because it's a brand. You know.
And you know what? Jackson State would have probably misappropriated the money they generated from
Say
the
that.
apparel.
Don't say that, man. I'm trying to be
Say it ain't
positive
so,
here.
OJ.
I'm trying to be positive here.
Yeah, we only sold 3 hoodies. What you talking about?
Yeah. So what happened to the brother, man? I came up, he dropped off. So
I don't know. I was trying to see where he was going.
what was he talking about?
Bad hombre. He had just got up here. He's cool.
Okay. I didn't want to run him off, man.
No.
You're talking about the rise of interracial couples.
Oh, that's the people of color, man. That's on purpose. Okay. It's called forced integration, and that started in 1945. Forced integration. Yeah, white people aren't happy about it. Black people were so about it. But the thing is that um, you can't have this. In the United States, you can't have this big a disparity between peoples. It's always going to cause problems. So the only way to get rid of the problem is force people to mix. That's how white people got over their problem. They force people to mix.
Speaking of mixing,
I'm the byproduct of 11 v Virginia. I'm part of the 11th generation.
Basically, there's very few, because I have 13% of Caucasian blood in me. There's very few black people running around here that are pure African. Okay, I can't think of any.
yeah.
Like Charles Barkley, from I think Charles Barkley. Snoop had what? Snoop was I said he only had 60-something% Africoid blood in him, man. Everybody's mixed in some shape, form, or fashion. So
He looks like he's native. He has some Native American.
he does. He has a lot of Native Americans. So is Charles Barkley, believe it or not.
Oh, Charles. Okay.
Mm.
Charles looks Asian.
Well, the original, if you look at the original Asian Chinese, okay, most of their ancestry comes back from South Africa. That's like South Africa. Yes, from the Sand people. That's like when they
He
look
looks more Asian now than before. It's maybe because he kind of like that Buddha fat type look, like Buddha. That's probably why.
And slanted eyes are very common on the continent.
And he look like he can be like remember Bolo?
Yeah.
He looks like he be related.
He does look like a Buddha.
rub his belly for good luck.
Good luck
on TNT.
Yeah.
We got to do better on it.
Yeah, but the people of color is the fastest growing segment in the United States. They want people to mix because partially because they run out of white people, because white people's numbers are declining because women aren't having babies. So
look at Louisiana.
Yeah. Hell, look at Europe, man. Europe, 50% of the babies, I think 60% of the babies born, new babies born, are not traditional European. So that's happening. The demographic shift is on. They're not happy about it, but what can they do?
People of color, though.
People of color, yeah.
That just includes everybody.
Yeah.
Well, in 100 years, everybody gonna look like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
If his son come closer, and be darker than that,
or some mixture of, yeah.
Yeah, they had a mixture. That's true. That son is no joke.
Yeah.
I mean, that layer. I mean, how long do you think they're gonna hold that layer to keep that ultraviolet rays from getting to us?
You can't. There's nothing you can do about it.
It's we in for a big duty. That's probably what he's panicking about, the global warming stuff.
I had to do research. My daughter had to do a research paper for her to graduate, and we talk about climate change, global warming. There's two factors that they're talking about, right? Is what they call the rising temperature, what they call wet bulb. At a certain temperature, certain humidity, people can't survive. Okay, and I forget what it was. And then the second thing is lack of water. Okay, if you look at most places in the world, they're drying up.
Do you
You
hear
know,
about Louisiana, BGS?
I haven't heard. What about it?
Salt water got into the Mississippi River,
No,
and the
okay.
governor is putting a state of emergency, and everybody is running, grabbing every jug and 24 pack of bottled water they can down there.
Okay. I mean, you got trillions of dollars that you throw around. Desalinization plants don't cost that much. Okay. Put some desalinization. There should have been desalinization plants instead of building weapons. It should have been all over the United States, especially in California, because I was actually talking to a guy from the Department of Water and Power. We talked about that. There should have been desalinization plants all along the coast of California, like decades ago. There should not be a water shortage with all this technology. It makes no sense. And in an advanced technological rich country like the United States, water should not be a problem. Got
Isn't the
plenty of
Gulf
water.
of Mexico? The Gulf of Mexico, is that salt water or fresh water?
That's all. It's a sea, man. It's water.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
salt water. Yeah, but you can desalinize it. So um, there's
It's
no
just
reason.
snapper.
There's no reason that there should be. There's no reason that there shouldn't. There should be a water infrastructure where people's water is unsafe. It makes no sense because you spend money on everything else. But but the thing is that people have. What the thing is? People have been taught that they're powerless, and that's the problem. So people will complain about their water and say, "Well, yeah, I can't drink the water. We go buy bottled water instead of going down, taking the whole neighborhood, going down to your
City Hall.
city hall and screaming, and then marching down to your the congressman's office and screaming. Okay, hell, you don't even have to do that. All you have to do is get together and all have Twitter accounts and all tweet the same thing at the same time. You
Say
don't even
what
have
you want.
you don't have to even go down there anymore. But if you actually, Art, I actually, I've had some brothers, that in the conscious community backslide from that because they knew it was going to cause too many problems if they did it. So I said that. Remember Jen Klingman with the 1 million black voters thing,
Mm.
and I suggested that you all get all the folks together and you form a Twitter band of 500,000 to 1 million people, and so all on email ring, and when the call goes out, everybody tweets the same thing at the same time. And he dropped that and ran. It was radioactive.
We're very domesticated.
Nobody wants to smoke, man. Because you gonna get some smoke, you do some shit like that.
Mhm.
You get a whole lot of smoke, you do some shit like all you gotta do is do it a couple times. You gonna get somebody. You gonna get a call. You will get a call.
And say what you want about France.
Uh,
If they take one penny, excuse me, if they take one penny from their benefits, the whole fucking country goes out to the streets
they
and
got
protest.
that is the rock and the hard place that France is in right now. The thing is, the people get upset without the benefits, but how do you pay for them?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Right now,
you know what I mean. You see what's going on.
yeah, that's behind the wall.
That's behind the
The
wall.
wall.
Well, you've heard me, so you know what I'm
Oh
talking about.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So, like uh, a lot of people are doubting things, right? They're doubting things. There's something going on. Like I think it was on this other, I don't even know why I was over there, right? And Trady MBD and this other guy, man, talked about they don't believe in white supremacy, and that's because I had, because he wanted to talk to me, so I talked to him for a couple hours. He went to do some things. He asked me about white supremacy. He said, "How do white people control the planet?" I said, "Through finance." I
9 years
said,
of activity.
through
You
through
should
the
know.
the banks, through the money system, right? They've been doing it for 200 years, and then the one guy got up there
Rothschilds.
and said, "Wait, no, they don't control the money." I said, "Oh, so, okay, who controls the? So who controls the banking system on the planet?"
Billboards.
No, they
Rothschild.
don't. The Bilderbergs don't control the. Come on, man.
Rothschild.
No, they were one of them, but no, they don't.
The
Well, ask them where they're
Anunnaki.
located.
Yeah, if you the banking center of the world is still. You can look it up. Google it. Banking center of the planet, London. The London banking system and controlling the
The city of London.
city of London. Been controlling the banking system for 200 years. Still is. and you have a bunch of banking conglomerates that still do, including the
I would
Rothschilds,
I would have
including
said
the
the
Bilderberg.
Medici. No, I'm joking.
Medici. It would have been, if you had said 600 years ago, you've been right.
Yeah.
Jordan Maxwell was talking about that for the longest.
What's that?
About the city of London.
It's obvious. I mean, but you don't have to even. It's not something that's hidden. Okay, because I tried it. I typed it in. Okay, I typed it in, and and said, okay, the banking center of the world, right? Came right up. It's not
Oh
even
yeah.
hidden. It's not even hidden.
The financial capital is the city of London.
Yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
military capital is the
Washington.
Pentagon.
There's no name. There's no name on the city of London that runs that bank.
And the religious
The who?
capital is
What
the
are you
city
talking
of
about, man?
Rome.
Yeah, it is.
Does it say who run the banking system in London, or
It's
is
a
it a
it's a
bunch
conglomerate.
or it's like a group of Europeans?
If you really want to know, there's a very good book
Mhm.
called Secrets of the Federal Reserve. They name all the families that run it, including the Bushes.
Okay.
Bush is a part of the banking family. They name
Bush
all.
now became bank.
Mhm.
Okay.
So what? Bush become
The
what?
Bushes. I know the Bushes.
The Bushes are kind of associated with what I think is called used to be called Brown Brothers Harriman, but it was like a 400-year-old banking clan family.
When it was
Okay.
the Prescotts? Do it go
Yeah.
back?
No, the Prescott's married. Prescott married into the family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he married the daughter of the guy that ran CBS, Herbert Walker.
Let me
Married
Walker
George
Bush.
Herbert Walker Bush. The Walkers, where it would come out of London. Okay.
So let me write that again. What's it called again? BJ Secret.
The Secrets of the Federal Reserve by Eustace Mullins. Very old book.
I think I
It's
got that book.
It's like 70 years old.
Federal.
I'm gonna check. 'Cause I think
I
we mentioned it. I think
Herbert
I
Hubert Walker.
So what?
His name is Hubert. What is it?
Eustace
All right.
Eustace Mullins. Eustace Mullins. Listen to me carefully, okay?
Mullins.
I'm trying to talk as slowly as I can. Eustace Mullins.
Okay. I'll just Google it, see what pops.
It's the most famous conspiracy book on the planet, okay? Everybody that's in conspiracy has at least read it at least once. Everybody knows Little Gold Book, right, Art?
Yeah, it's $30 on Amazon.
Is it that much? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I got it cheaper than that. So people are starting to buy it more.
It might be in PDF form by now because it's so old. Because hell, I got it. He signed my copy. I had a copy signed by him when he's still alive. Back.
It's actually $10.
Huh?
It's $10. It's March 15, 2020, 2021.
It's probably you can find them used all over the place.
Oh, you said how old is it? 30 years old, right?
He first printed it in 19. Was it? It was first burned.
93?
No, it's first burned in I think it's 1950. 1953 was the first printing, I do believe.
I cannot find that.
Somebody about to get a 202 call.
No, that's pretty common. I don't think so.
Do you have the PDF? I probably emailed it.
You're about to get a 202 call.
Get the book, man.
Just get the book, man. Yeah, I know.
No, I'm trying to find the old one. I'm seeing only is 2000.
It's the same. The thing is, nobody will print it except a certain group. So it's it's the same book. It's probably a little gold book that's circulating for a long time. You probably can find a bunch of them used. If it's $10, it's probably a used copy.
Okay. Yeah, because if it's a gold book, usually older ones are better.
You can look him up.
Yeah,
you can look him up on YouTube. Eustace Mullins. He used to give lectures all the time.
Okay.
In fact, I went to like a bunch of them.
Okay.
Anyway, so we were somewhere. I forget where we were.
Because you mentioned that and white trash at the same time.
Oh yeah. Oh, talking about the white trash by what's her name?
Nancy Eisenberg.
Eisenberg, yeah. Nancy
Eisenberg.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I bought that Secret of Federal Reserve. I bought that back in June.
Oh, okay. I thought you read it already.
No, I had to get when you mentioned. I was like, man, I heard about it. And I was like, I never got that, so I went on and grabbed it.
Yeah. Look him up on YouTube. Listen to him.
Cost me $10.
Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of them out there.
Yes,
Got
gold, a small gold book, like you said.
one good
Yes, I
book,
got it.
and then I forget the second book. That the first book was actually put together by his mentor. Okay, he just went to because I asked him. I said, "Man, how did you?" They said this book is different from the rest of your books. And I said, "How come this one is the first book is so different?" He said, "Because I didn't write it." I said, "Really?" He said, "No." I said, "I showed up because I was 26 years old. I showed up to I forget the guy's name that actually was in the mental institution, right? Because they locked him up because he was running his mouth.
Uh-huh.
So they had him in there, and so he went there because he wanted to write the next. He wanted to be a Nobel Prize winner. So
Okay.
he wanted to be everybody said, since the guy can't go nowhere, let's go see if I can learn something from him. So he used to visit him, and the guy said, okay. He said, if you he said, so you talk to him. He said, man, if I say, he said, man, here's a certain amount of money. He's in Washington D.C. Go down to the Library of Congress and look this up, and come back. And so he did that over the course of like a year and a half, and he put it all together. He said, now see all the stuff that I laid out for you. Go write the book.
Mm,
Mm.
All right. D Scott, thank you for the super chat. He says behind the wall, Kev about to get a
202 call.
202 call.
Yeah, Washington D.C. area code.
Hey, but thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate it.
okay, I
Oh,
think I
Yeah,
might. I think I found it. VJ.
It's
I got
all.
all.
It's a very old book, man.
It has like 326 pages. The one on Amazon, they got like short versions.
Mm.
yeah, I looked it up. I found it. Eustace Mullins, you said, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He can be. Yeah, he's a bit of a white supremacist, but I think his information is good. When I didn't think so until I first met him. And then I said, oh,
Where you get you some vibes, like
yeah,
why are you here?
yeah. Like, yeah. Why are you here? Yeah. Oh, even though it was it was like a natural health convention, and he happened to be there selling books. He was a nice guy, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, the look.
Oh
Mm.
yeah, he
Yeah.
must have regularly like lectured in front of like hard right wing
Yes, he does.
Christian
Yes, he does.
national separatists.
I don't know if separatists, yeah, the far right loved him, and he lectured at right wing and far right.
Like Jordan
What we call
Peterson.
George Peter far right?
He's
Is he?
touching it a little bit.
Okay.
Remember, he had that big debate about racism. Michael Eric Dyson.
Oh, okay.
He said there was no racism.
Ah, okay.
Um, I'm like him. I couldn't believe Jordan Peterson was on that.
I
But
hear. Well, the thing is, I don't think white folks see racism the way the rest of the world does.
I think either he was denying race or he was probably denying that there's systematic racism. It was one of those positions. But
Mm,
Michael wiped. When it comes to that, Michael wiped the floor with.
of course. I mean, hell, you can see it. If you can't see it over the past couple years, and it's in your face, then you can't see it. So a lot of people that can't see it, they don't want to see it. So I ignore it. It's okay. I said, well, what do you mean white supremacy? Dude, it's going on right now. What do you think the BRICS versus the West is?
It got to the point when they're denying like that, I just walk away.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I did. Yeah, and they start
I'm like,
screaming. They start screaming over you. Because
I'm
I know
like,
by then they have their finger in their ears. La 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 la
yeah,
la.
I got no time for it. I mean, past 50. Y'all had my time earlier. I'm past 50 now. I got to move forward
Yeah, yeah.
because, I mean, denying it puts us in a more dangerous position, in my opinion.
I mean, okay. The thing is it okay? Proof, you lay out the facts, okay, and if you want to, and then they start doing what women do. They start, moving the goalposts and ducking and dodging. And so, man, I ain't got time for that. So now, what I say is when people want to argue something, um, I always say, okay, man, where your sources at? Well, I ain't got no sources. So why are we talking? Oh,
Mm.
I remember Trey said, "You read all those communist books, and that's supposed to mean something. How come you don't go talk to the people?" I talked to my folks about the nuclear family. I said, "How are you, man?" He said, "It don't matter." I said, "My mother's 85. Okay, my grandmother died at 96. Okay, I talked to these people. Some people still live almost the same way they did way back then. It still works the same way. So what are you talking about?"
Yeah, I don't know where to get this Ernest Hemingway, Norman Rockwell paintings of a black life.
Yeah,
I don't.
it never happened. The thing is, but that's what they're taught in school. So, but it's hidden. You just have to really look at a certain angle. You know how you turn a picture at a certain angle if to see the real hidden meaning. That's what they're doing.
Even the Jack and Jill family, the mom still works.
Yeah. Oh
She
yeah, man,
still.
they're still working. Basically, anybody from the South knows that the South is, Southern. There's no really such thing as a nuclear family down south, right? Everybody, if you're down south, especially, right, especially if you're traditional, it's an extended family. But
Didn't somebody uncover?
with your play aunties, your play cousins that don't have no a drop of blood in them, of yours, but they're part of your extended family. That's part of the
But did,
clan. Go ahead.
but didn't somebody uncover that it wasn't that many white folks that had a nuclear family?
I'm trying to find it because
I
when I was
heard. I think it was Tone Talks. I
yeah
think it was.
when I was a MGTOW, I actually I'm trying to find the video where it happened because one I did it where this guy was breaking down exactly where the nuclear family started. Right, nuclear family actually started in Northern Europe. I think the end of the 16th, part of the 17th century, because of the whatchamacallit, because of the what they call the manor system, where women used to leave their family and go to different manors and work, right? So she was disconnected from the family with the men, so they had lost their connection to their clan. So when they got married, that's where the nuclear family kind of formed. And then when as the industrial revolution got started, started to advance, that made more sense in an urban setting to have a nuclear family. That's what I was trying to say. So, but the clan is, and the clan is not. I mean, the nuclear family is not a natural occurrence. Okay, it's been developed over the past, I would say, 400 years. I wish I could find the video. And then I had this discussion with the guy in Germany. We call him German MGTOW. We were actually talking about the nuclear family decaying down into what we call the single family household, which is what we see happening. It'll actually start decaying because even in arranged marriages, so arranged marriage is so strong because you have two families keeping those people together. Because in fact, Ryan Taraban, I just did a video on him talked about marriage. Right? He said it's a nuclear family or nuclear marriage is not enough people. Okay. Because it was never meant to be. So you're supposed to marry when you married a woman or married a man, you married into his family. So you got sisters and mother-in-laws and aunties that you never had before to actually make fill that gap. So,
Mm.
but I get people get tired of talking. People have their own agenda, and and so you say when you cite your sources, they never come up one. So I said, you know what, so you're just here to talk. You're not really here to prove anything. Just here to hear yourself talk. So that's when I actually
Yeah.
drop out. So okay, y'all here to talk to each other. So you don't need me.
Well, they need to keep that coon porn in the boxes. You
So what?
know, they need to keep that coon porn in the boxes
Mm.
and little
Ah,
stash.
well, if you can prove it, if you really believe in it and you can prove it, it should pop up somewhere. I mean, because I tell people as far as I'm probably talking too much right now. I tell people that what I say, if it doesn't show up in the headlines a year and a half later, then I was wrong. Because
Mm.
when I actually put it out there, I see it coming. So I said this should happen, within a certain amount of years. Like people talked uh, about women getting put out on the street and having to sell their bodies. And then I just got an email that said BGS said that 4 years ago. And I was talking about coffee girls. And I got ridiculed. Okay. 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 You can ridicule me now, but it's, unless the government's got a trick up its sleeve, just, they're already decriminalizing prostitution. That means they know what's getting ready to happen.
And they got that online. I mean, they got a competition with some of these immigrants coming over.
I mean,
So
you gotta think about this, right? When was prostitution ever a big crime in the first place?
oldest profession.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Why do people get upset about the nuclear family? Most of the niggas who talk about nuclear families, did they even grow up in one? And that's the question there. It's like it reminds me of like game and dressing well, and then you have niggas who complain about it, and that's only because they're lazy to do the work. It's the same every time I come up on Kevin's platform. I always got to bring up Megan Good because, man, I never seen so much cap and I seen a fucking bowl of cereal in the 80s. Only black men are not only the garbage men in the dating world.
Oh, they still hate you for that. You know that, right?
How so?
Huh?
How so? Who asked me?
Which question is it? Why they hate him, or why
up.
black men are the garbage men of the dating world? Which question?
Yeah, that's an interesting concept, and I think I know where you're going with it. But
I'm gonna ask the question.
Okay.
What type of women what is the preference of a white dude?
You there, Bueller?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Another white female?
No, the body type.
The body type.
Oh, okay, yeah, slim, fit, and in shape.
What type of eyes and hair?
Blue and blonde.
Okay. Will a black guy date a fat chick?
Yes.
Will he date a skinny chick?
Yes.
In shape?
Yes.
Poor, rich, bad attitude, whole rack of kids?
Yeah. Yes. I get it now. I get it.
Black men don't have any standard when it comes to women.
Yeah, well, in fact, other races are saying the same thing about it. Yeah, that's what if because Asians don't like big women, they like little tiny women, and the bigger Asians saying if you can't get try to get a black guy, try to get your passport, bro, because they like big women like that. Yep.
Is that because we are raised by women? You think
that's part of
it?
it.
Therefore, we were raised to put the black woman on a pedestal, regardless of anything else. So,
a man is getting the essence of the gynocracy. Yes.
And part of it is also the fact that we're raised to be a pussy hound. Because I had this question. This lady had a panel where she asked me the question, why do dudes date anything? Because they were raised, number one, they were raised to. Because your mom would try to put you on with a chick and be like, or your sister, oh, she's not that bad looking. She just got a few pounds.
Mm-hmm.
She's missing one eye. She got 3 kids.
She got a good heart.
She got a good heart. They'll try to soften the blow or something.
Be a church girl.
But here's the fucked up part. The second part of that equation that I told her. I said if black men have standards, you would never obtain them. And she got quiet, and then she got mad. I'm like, what do you get mad for? You're the only chick I know who's past 40 you're the only set of chicks who's past 40 thinking you're gonna get a dude after you couldn't get the same shit from your ex-husband. Fuck out. So yes. But here's the part that I was gonna say earlier about black men. You cap hard. Like when I saw that, I keep reminding and throwing it in black dudes' faces. Oh, Megan's past their prime. Nigga, if she farted in your direction, you will fucking go. So stop it. Oh, I wouldn't do nothing like that. Nigga, you I swear to God. I swear to God, man. Y'all said Steph Co was fine, so y'all niggas know you're You're non-communicado with me, so yeah. Like, I mean, niggas lie. I don't know who caps more, the women or the niggas sometimes. Sometimes y'all be facing neck to neck.
So they got more cap than Mrs. Butterworth's hat.
Oh, yeah. More Captain Crunch. Shit. I mean, god damn. Oh, I wouldn't date no fat chick, and you be seeing them niggas sneak over there. And this is what I know.
And Steph go by herself proves that shit wrong.
I know. I mean,
She's an easy four. She ain't that bad, man. All she need to do is clean up her attitude. She be fine, man.
Serena Williams. I'm gonna tell you what made me
But at least
really.
Serena Williams got a body, though. At least.
I'm gonna tell you what. Serena Williams made me look at my friends different. You don't think Serena Williams fine, nigga? She looks like fucking me when I'm shaved. She got a neck. She got a neck like a telephone pole. What the fuck do you want with? I bet you she pegs her husband. That's how manly she is.
I believe that.
Dude, don't take a shower.
She kind of looks like a young Tina Turner, though.
No,
No,
she does not. Oh no, she does not.
No, she does not.
No,
She
does
looks
not.
like a young.
Just in the face, just in the
No,
face.
I remember Tina Turner when I was young.
In the face, trust me, she looked like a young Iron Mike. Kid Dynamite. That's what the fuck
she does not look like a young Tina Turner.
She looks like a young Iron Mike Tyson.
He was bad back in the day.
It was bad back in the day, yes, sir.
And Serena's face is just looking bad. I mean, did you see the photos when she was yelling at the umpire?
Yeah.
Oh man, she looked like
she got that bang game in the neck, boy.
Boy, she looked like Dick Buckus.
Man.
Oh God, I sure hate to take away winning time. That was my Sunday shows, man.
Oh my God! And then her sister, Venus, man, she looked like a fucking He-Man villain.
Oh, you like Venus? I like Venus.
No, Skeletor.
Venus is not pretty. Okay.
No, she is not pretty. She looks like King Hiss. Look it up.
Do you think they made Magic look like a loser on this show? Because think about it. They started out with him revealing he had HIV, and then the finale, they had him losing in the '84 finals. Granted, they won the next year.
Well, he didn't get HIV till like '91, so.
They had to end it. They had to abruptly end it. That's why they had to end it on him losing that series with Celtics, because remember the following year they won.
Yeah. Yeah, the following the season 3 is supposed to be with the second half, of the dynasty.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to.
Well, I guess not enough people watched it. So,
well,
really?
I gotta ask this one question.
There would be season 3 if enough people actually watched it.
I thought somebody just called in special favorite.
No, there wasn't enough people watching it.
I do have to ask this important question about Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Who's a better ball handler? Him or his son?
His son.
His son.
In other words, you know what Magic Johnson's body count is just in females? The last count?
Is it more than Wilt?
1,000.
No, 50. The last count, and this was like 15 years ago, 1,000 women. And we know
15 years ago?
It was 15 years ago. That was the count, okay?
That's why he don't have that. He don't have a disease.
Yeah, and I usually hear. Remember, Art, we used to hear about his parties. Okay. Yeah. So Magic had some wild ass parties. Now, if he did juggle balls, okay, it's real. That's real in the closet because ain't nobody came out and said shit. So basically in 40 years, ain't nobody said shit. So if somebody's done it, either he must be like 6 feet under because ain't nobody said shit. So
hey Kev,
what it do?
But we know about Connie Chung and Magic Johnson though.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I was hearing about that a lot.
Hey Kev, highlight Lord Lovesmith's comment. Oh my God.
But Magic was heated about his son. Cookie had to hide that for a good 15 years.
I'd be like, how the fuck did you? like, what the fuck's going on here? I
He,
And he
turned
he,
it.
buried
he
his
was,
name too. That's bad, man. He
yeah.
buried his
He
name.
made his name. Yeah, it's just like, well, hell, look at Dwayne Wade. I don't know what's going on in the water.
It's called Cuck.
It's called environment.
Yeah,
Like,
well, so
yeah, mahogany. What's good? What's going on there?
Bueller.
Yes. Hey, Kevin, I'm here. Sorry, I had to mute up because I didn't want my TV on the background. Now, this is Smoke Show, right? So this is a everybody invite show, right?
Yeah.
You know, this is my weird hours. I be surfing, and I saw you were live, so I just hopped up. I heard some of the conversation about. I heard the part actually not too long ago where Charles was talking about black men's standards for dating. But I'm just coming in. I'll get in wherever
Uh-oh.
I fit in.
so there's no argument about it. It's true. In fact, their reputation of being that is global. Even down in the Philippines. In other words, you go to Japan, they say the same thing. Uh,
Yeah.
what the Asian man won't accept, the black man will.
I'll tell you one
They're,
thing,
they're actually known for that.
you black men need to bring your standards up because I hate being on dating apps and the people who like you are
Mhm.
people who should be damned by God
Yeah,
Himself.
it is what it is, man. Our
I
reputation
think you
precedes.
look. I think you look nice. I don't
You,
think
you,
you
you
do.
know you know what the thing is. That's why I stopped rating women. Okay, is because because I used to be a photographer, so I'm pretty accurate at rating the looks of women, right? And so when I rate them, you know, and then I rate them at like somebody like Steph. She's obviously a 4, okay,
Yeah,
and
she's
that's
a.
being obviously just being generous, right? And I'll say that, and I get you get 40% of my comment section. Oh man, she's not that bad. I'd take her, and
You
she'd
know,
be okay. And if she had a better attitude, and she's better taken care of. So man, I don't feel like we say, why don't you guys kill me? But a Megan Good is not cute enough.
you know what? My own friends sometimes disgust me, and I had to, and it took me a reason why. Like one in particular
Hmm.
dated big chicks because he was a big guy too.
Yeah, that makes
And I
sense.
and I had to and I had to think about it. A lot of niggas will go to the path of least resistance,
Hmm.
and I'm like, come on, you know you could date a big girl. Just because I can lift 500 pounds don't mean I want to fuck it, okay? Like, no, I don't want to fuck the fucking engine of a car. No.
The funniest thing is something that I always hated, which is why when you have a good friend, man, that dates bigger women, right? For lack of a better term, or women that I would consider, you know, average at best. Okay, and then you hang around them, right? And then the women that are attracted to him or like him think that you're attracted to the same thing. It's like
Oh
you get
God, I hated that.
you get a 4 walking up to you, say, "What's up, baby?" And so, like,
I
and,
hated
and then
that.
you trying to be nice, and she's trying to push up. It's like, you don't want to be rude. It's like, no,
Uh,
baby, I'm
one
not
time
attracted
I
to
had
you.
to. One time I had to know what Jesus would do,
Yeah,
and what he said was, "Get behind me, thief, Satan!
yeah,
Oh, get away!
yeah.
I'm
Like my baby,
sorry."
like my baby's mom. She's pretty girl, pretty woman. In fact, I was telling, I texted my daughter. I said, I said, do you see how much Tia Omari looks like your mom? She said, yeah, they
Mm.
look a lot alike. Okay, so I said, yeah. She said, I said, Tia Omari looks a lot like your mom. She said, sure does, especially the eyes, and built like her too. so,
Mm.
so, but the thing is that even she used to get pissed at me because uh, she was 5'4" and she weighed 140 pounds, right? And the women I dated previously, they were 5'8" and they didn't weigh over 130.
Mm.
And
Uh,
she felt some kind of way.
Fast forward in
Mm.
2023, and
You got a bunch of pachyderms.
you pachyderms. You got mastodons, man.
I,
I
I,
mean, you
I,
got
I,
to.
and I've tried. Just the crank just won't turn over. That's all.
You got
I've
these
tried bigger
chicks.
women.
You got chicks out there, man. Like you got chicks out there, and you know, big chicks always running packs too, man.
They have to.
I mean,
You know why? You know why, don't you?
because
A
they go
herd.
No,
because
because they all think they want to stand out. In other words, if I'm around skinny chicks that are, 8, 9, 7, 6, 5 and above, I won't stand out. But if I
I
run with people that kind of look like me or in the same ballpark, I have a chance of standing out and be the
I,
queen bee.
I got hey Mahogany, I gotta ask this question.
Sure.
Do you think Lizzo's attractive?
Yes, I do.
I knew it. So
Why? Why?
so
Why?
wait
Why?
wait a
Why is she
minute. So
attractive?
so so don't kick the chair,
Okay.
BGF.
I'm
Kick the
okay.
chair. The Grand Negro Jedi Masters in the building. So if I said you look like Lizzo, would that be you look attractive?
I would take it as a compliment. I think she's attractive.
What makes her look attractive?
I think she has a very beautiful face. Um, I
Where?
mean, excuse me, Lizzo's pretty in my eyes. Her
No,
behavior isn't always great, but as far as her physical features, she's pretty to me.
so what has a double, triple chin have ever been pretty?
Can I chime in on the conversation just a little bit about
Go
what you
ahead.
guys are talking about? Okay. Actually I have a question, but I'll save that to the end. My
No,
question,
ask it
yeah,
now.
okay. The first question is,
Uh-huh.
how do you guys rate these women? Like, how does the scale work?
The scale works when it's not broken by
How,
Lizzo.
how does the
But
scale?
anyway,
Okay, you start with perfection, right? Okay, what's the 10 or what's it 8, 9, or 10, or so you say 9 or 10? Okay, you
let
should
me
get
give.
9. Go ahead, Charles, if you want to go. I was
I'm
in the
I'm
middle of
I'm gonna
talking.
give you the
I
scale.
was in the middle of talking, but go ahead.
I'm sorry, but go ahead.
Yeah, in other words, if a woman thinks she's a 10, okay, do you have a modeling contract? Because all your 10s are actually models, okay, or models or thereof, or famous actresses. They have universal beauty. Okay, did you win a beauty contest, something like that? Then you work your way downwards. Okay, if and I've heard this from a black woman, right? And I got 2 daughters. Every woman know where she ranks in the pecking. And if she doesn't, she's lying, because you start at 11, 12 years old and you go out and see what kind of attention you can attract from men. That's where you rank. And that's where switch scales. Basically, a 8, 9, or 10 cannot walk the street by herself without stopping
No,
traffic. It's impossible.
no.
She can't. I went to a high school, Westchester, where you have a bunch of 8, 9s, and 10s.
Say
They
that
they
again for the niggas in the back who didn't hear you.
Yeah. They never ever, if they had to catch the bus, they would not catch the bus by themselves. They had to have like a body, a man next to her as a chaperone, because the cars would start stopping. Okay, immediately. That's how you know. Okay, and if you're not that, then you probably a 6 and below.
And here's the listing for people who don't know. We're gonna start with 4. 4 is below average. 5 is average. 6 is cute. 7 is pretty. 8 is beautiful. 9 is gorgeous. 10 is immaculate. Any questions, Mahogany?
No, I just, I hear the scales a lot, so I just wondered, how are you guys rating these women? Doesn't really, I'm different. I'm a proponent of women having self-esteem and self-acceptance, so I don't really care about how men rate women. Um,
Oh, yes, they do.
it doesn't bother me at all.
In
Yes,
other
you do.
words, in other words, let me ask you something, right?
Sure.
How many times do you get how old are you?
Oh
Approximately.
God.
Approximately
No, no, no.
30,
I don't
20s,
mind.
30s.
No, no, I'm 44, and I have my
Oh, you know better.
granddaughter. My
44.
granddaughter.
You know better.
40, okay,
And
44.
my granddaughter is actually across the hall from me. But go ahead.
44. 44,
Mhm.
right? When you were 21, how much did you get approached by men?
Well, I got approached quite a lot. Yes.
So, if there's 10 men in the room, you're sitting at one end of the bar, Lizzo sitting at the other. How many men? How many men are going to be approaching who?
Well, I would like to add. Can I add a couple things
Hey,
about
after,
this?
after you answer the question,
After you answer,
Well, that's the thing. I can't really without adding this stuff in. I think it depends if it's a man that's intelligent. I think it depends on
no, no, no,
watching
no,
what
no, no,
else
no.
that
We're going by physical features.
yeah.
We're not giving that other bullshit.
I really can't answer that. I don't know.
You can answer it. You
She,
just.
you
I'd
know,
rather you
and,
say. I'd rather you say you don't know because you're 44, right? You know.
Yes, sir.
So let me put it to you this way. You go to when you were going out with your friends. Did you have some friends who were at the higher end of beauty than others?
Oh, of course, yes.
Were the ones who were not as high getting as much attention from the men?
I guess not. I'm not. I guess not. I really only minded my own business, but I guess not.
I mean, you could observe and mind your business. I mean, your eyes and ears work, right?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Charles. The fact is, when I used to go out, things have changed. But when I went out with my friends, um, most of us were just going out to have a good time. It wasn't about how many men approached us at the bar. It was never about that for us.
It's not about you looking for it, but does it? But did you know that some people were getting attention that others didn't?
women know when they walk into
Yes.
a bar, into a setting, into anything, they know where they ranked in that setting. Okay, immediately. It's the first thing they look for. Where do I rank in this setting?
How
Immediately.
often do you get interrupted at the bar?
Um. Well, if you mean a man asking to buy me a drink or something, that happens frequently. But I think that happens to a lot of women frequently. That's kind of the scene, especially down here. You know what I mean?
No,
I,
no.
I think it depends on where you are.
How
You
many
know,
times? How many times did you get them for free?
well, of course, ladies' night you always get them for free. But if you come in like by 10 o'clock, it's free for women. Most bars down here do that.
Did you get
I'm
in
in the
after
South,
10?
so it's typical,
Did you get
huh?
in at? Did you go in after 10?
And so it was. So in other words, in your opinion, Beyonce and Lizzo look the same.
No, now we come on, it's Beyonce.
Well, no, you say
No,
Lizzo's beautiful. Okay, so where does beautiful actually start?
and that's what I'm glad you asked because that's my
Your
thing.
skin.
That was gonna be my point is that I think
Okay.
um, beauty is obviously different for different people. One of my good friends, he would never date somebody like me because he likes plus size women. There are men. I just wanted to say this. I think by saying that men have no, black men in particular have no standards is a little bit strong because there are some, just like white men, there are some white men that like things that aren't, what you would think a typical white man might like. Like I'm actually very athletic and I go to the gym frequently. I lift weights. I heard Charles was talking about Serena, but
Oh yes, MJ, you do.
yeah, some men like a more athletic.
Making
I'm
beauty
an
a
athletic.
fiction,
Uh,
right?
uh,
Okay. Okay. But what are black men known for? Are black men known for particular looking women, or they date anybody?
They've been known to date anybody. That's
Thank you.
true.
so where was I?
That's why he says it. He says it as a euphemism. The thing is, that's what he means. Black men don't we don't have a standard look. We don't have a standard body type. We don't have a standard skin color. We don't have a standard anything. Black men will date whatever appeals to them. You can see a black man married to a 400-pound woman and be
Yeah,
happy. Okay.
yep. And here's the part, right? All right. And I just had this conversation with an 18-year-old female last night. This is one of the things that make it hard for men to talk because women, when y'all, I'm gonna give you a little class of psychology. When a person pauses like that, 9 times out of 10, you look to the left side of your face, didn't you? Because you were trying to think of the most nicest and democratic thing to say, then say the flat out truth. Because one, like everybody else know, that you got certain attention that some of your friends probably did not. As a matter of fact, Some of your friends probably wouldn't have got a man if you weren't there to bring the boys to the yard. And it's not like I haven't been around women for 41 years. And it's crazy, right? Because I asked her this question and I reversed it. And I told her to look up Boris Kojo. Boris Kojo at 50, if he walked on Coppin State or Morgan State campus, the females will be coming out the classrooms just to see him, even if he wasn't famous. Because there's some people who are uncommonly handsome and beautiful. And when we talk about beauty, women like to add in all this other personality bullshit. But would you date the male version of Lizzo, Mahogany?
But you just said it. You literally just said it yourself. I've heard you guys say, y'all. I listen in on you men quite well throughout the spaces quite frequently, and I've heard you guys say that quote unquote 10 with a bad attitude versus a 7 and a quote unquote adjustable 7 with a good attitude beats the 10 with the bad attitude. I've heard y'all say stuff like that.
Yeah,
Which
but
I agree.
you gotta realize
That's the 7, not a 4.
you gotta say this, right? Because I've said this before. In the 70s, 80s, well, you can say the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. How did big women get married? Did a bigger woman know that she's coming at a man with a deficit? Yes or no?
Women really don't think the way you guys do. We don't look at it like that.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. They just don't.
I'm a woman, and I'm telling you, we don't think like that.
I've been around women.
What do you?
Can we role play? Can we role play for a second? I'll role play.
Hold on a second. Let me speak for a second, right? Okay. Most black women that I've been around, especially, right, when a baby is born, what's the first 3 things that they look for?
Huh? I'm sorry.
What's the first 3 things that they look at when a newborn comes into a group of black women? Come on.
Just the weight.
No. Hair texture, hair texture, skin color, and eye color. 1, 2, 3.
No.
Yes.
Especially black.
Okay. And in fact, I have my first 3 grandsons. Right. They all have pretty good gray hair. I can't tell the difference in gray hair. Right. I can't tell. All my mother, my mother, my ex, all the women can actually tell. They can actually identify the 3 grades of hair that all 3 of these kids had, right? As far as color, eyes, all they down to the tittle when they're born. They can tell exactly, and they pay very particular attention to that. That's why I call the when I call it the light skin trifecta: hair, eyes, and skin. Okay, there's a reason for that. Women are very, very sensitive to it. They're very sensitive to looks. They're very Charles can tell he's athletically built. Okay, that makes a difference. Where do you think game comes from?
You better have, if you're gonna do the dark skin trifecta, you better have a smooth complexion, a beard, and you better be built like somebody who's on the gridiron. I mean, it's certain things that are gonna get certain attentions. I'm sorry, black women. Yeah, we get our colorism from y'all.
In fact, all your dating coaches, okay, every last one of them say the exact same thing, right? We have a great guy for you. He makes a lot of money. He's smart. He's got a degree. Blah blah blah. And then the first thing he said, well, how does he look?
Mm-hmm.
So what does it matter? Okay, he's a great guy, and looks shouldn't matter.
Yep.
Looks, especially with black women, looks matter a whole lot.
And I gotta say this, Mahogany. I want you to answer this question. Does that big girl know she's coming at a deficit?
No, I'm telling you, as far as the way women think, we don't think if she's got decent self-esteem about herself, she's not going to think that she's coming at a deficit, because what she's thinking, and this is why I wanted to role play. If I was a big girl, I'd be thinking about all the things that I bring to the table as the woman I am, because it's not all about looks.
The hell if it's not.
Go ahead and role play. Try. How you role play?
Well, no, I mean,
Because I just did a show about a woman that lost 100 pounds and cheated on her husband, right? And we had we had Toya in her. Toya used to be 310 pounds. She lost half the weight, right? She's like 150 now, right? She said the exact same thing. Okay, that the big girl in the whatchamacallit said the exact same thing. Okay, the exact same thing.
And big girls, I'm
what was
gonna
the exact same? What
And
would
and
they say?
in other words, they know that they're fat. They know that they're not as attractive. They know they don't have the same self appeal, right? The one. If you go back, it's in the video. In fact, what's your name? We did a whole stream on that, right? She said the exact same thing. Okay. The thing is how I know is because where I worked for 30 years, I knew at least 1,500 women, black women personally, their kids, their kids who their husbands' names, all that shit. So I hear what comes out of their mouths. They know
you
and how
gotta
they talk about each other.
you gotta think about it, right? I've never seen too many confident big girls. As a matter of fact, when y'all gain 5 pounds, you're socially conscious of it, let alone 100. So that being said, y'all know, y'all just don't want to y'all think you're not going to let anybody know, but everybody knows it. And then on top of that, the BGS didn't, well, he probably getting to that part. She projected her insecurities on her husband. Why? Because she looked down upon her husband for dating her.
Yep.
Correct.
And here's the crazy part. Because she was never the attractive girl, the
The it
pretty
girl.
girl,
Yeah.
and she's always been the big girl, the first time she lost the weight and it was noticeable when she started getting attention, she lost her ever rabbit mind.
She did say that.
Smelling her fucking self.
So I mean, you just it's hard to say, but thing is, if I knew you, do you live in a large city?
No, I'm from South Carolina, small town.
Oh, okay, it's a little different in a small town. But if I took you to Charlotte, okay, or what's the biggest, or Atlanta, which is fairly close to you, right? Different vibe, different competition. Have you ever been to a bigger city? You lived in a bigger city,
Oh yeah, I've been all over. I have. I've lived a lot of places.
so the competition is fierce as far as looks is concerned.
Yep.
I don't compete, but yes, there's beautiful women all over the
You,
country,
you,
all over the world.
you don't compete, but the thing is, you have eyes, you got friends, and you hear stuff. Okay.
Matter of fact, how recent is the picture in your profile on here?
I think I took this last year.
Mahogany is the same as she was. She cams up on her channel. She's the same as
So
that.
I've gained a little bit of weight, chaos. I've gained a little bit.
Mahogany,
Would not be noticed.
Which is why dating and this kind of stuff does not work for black women, because they will not admit reality. Even though they know it, they will not admit reality. I got 2 daughters, okay? 2 daughters. They know, okay? To say that they don't know is a lie. They do know. They do know. They do know where they fit. They do know what kind of people they can attract. The women in my family tell them all the time, right? Okay, I got a dark daughter, and 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 basically her grandmother, my ex-in-law, says the same thing. If I had to do all over again, I'd be rich, white, and pretty. They know. Okay, to say that they don't, they know. And if you got friends, don't say you saying you never heard this. Every woman that's around you thinks that they're beautiful, no matter what look and size.
No way.
Well, I can tell you this: I ain't never in my life, and God knows I've never wanted to be a white woman. That's something that ain't no.
I'm not saying. See, the thing is, when I say people around you, you go back to you. I'm not saying you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And you never heard this at all.
Women with low, like once again, there's women who are confident, and there's women with low self-esteem. I don't have low self-esteem.
Women with
feedback is a real thing, man. Everybody gets feedback. You go to school, you constantly get A's. You're gonna obviously believe you're smart. You're constantly getting F's, and you're trying hard.
Come on. Feedback is real.
So I don't care how confident someone is. There's only but so many Olympic gold medals that are going to be given out. I love you dearly, Mahogany, but this is the reason, and I'm going to say this for time of memorial. This is the reason why men always think women are full of shit in some things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because women will never give you a flat out answer until they're broken or drunk. And y'all know that you think men are competitive. And this is how well I know women. I just got my second PhD in womenology and with a minor in bitch babble. But
That is true.
I'm going to tell you how bullshit just being around women and observing y'all are. You will have women literally challenge down other women and say, why do you like that woman? She don't look nothing like me, in front of the other woman's face. And if she knows she's prettier than that man's woman, she's going to try. And y'all know it. And see, this is the part about pretty ignorance. I'm put a nail in it. I coined the phrase pretty ignorance. Attractive women try to be humble because they don't want to seem, arrogant by saying, well, there are stuff like a woman with confidence. Is that woman with confidence going to get a movie star level guy if she's 350 pounds? How much Lizzo's worth? About what, 20, 30 million?
Mm-hmm.
Is she getting Adrian Elba? Is she getting any of these Hollywood level guys?
Does Lizzo date a fat dude?
Yeah, she does.
You know why the confidence, I'm going to tell you, the confidence is important because without the confidence, there's no self-improvement. It really does start with the inner before you can work on the outer. I mean, that's just the truth.
You're
Can I
born.
ask you a question?
You're born with what you're born with. But go ahead and ask the question. I'm sorry.
I was just saying it starts with the inner before you can deal with the outer. That's why the confidence.
It starts with the outer first, baby. You don't have an inner when you're born. Okay. The outer first.
Is being fat or obese, is that healthy? Yes or no?
It's not healthy.
Is being fat or obese healthy?
I said it's not healthy, but neither is being underweight.
But that wasn't the question though. So when you have a group of, it doesn't matter, a group of anybody's, right? When over 54% of them are fat and obese, that's the vast majority, right? Is that not a problem? You just said fat and obese is not healthy. So even if half of them are confident, they're still unhealthy. And we know throughout time, unhealthy people, regardless, are less attractive. That goes throughout time without social media for us to see whatever. Well, I mean, to superimpose on what we already knew. So this is why we don't believe you. We're not saying you're a bad person. We're just saying come on. And then you're not in that 54+%, especially for being a black woman. You're not. So,
I'd like to ask. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all.
Well, my question is, we know that, right? So we know that being morbidly obese is unhealthy, but lots of things are unhealthy, but we don't really fixate it. I wish we would focus more on other things. Lots of things are unhealthy. People not getting regular checks, like medical checks, is unhealthy. But how many, and I hate to say this, but a lot of black men don't get themselves checked regularly. I'm just saying we fixate on things that are easy to fixate on and funny and kiki and haha, but there's other things. There's so many more pressing things besides.
No, there's not.
You gotta.
If you walk into a doctor's office and you're like 50 to 70 pounds over the weight, what's the first thing he's going to tell you when you step on the scale?
Oh,
You
he's
want
gonna
to,
tell you you need to lose some weight.
that's the biggest factor. Okay, your biggest factor
Yeah.
in health problems is weight. You know,
Most of your health problems go
health
away when
issues,
you lose weight.
weight issues, diabetes, high blood pressure, all kinds of stuff is attributed to your weight. Okay.
Most of your
Yes.
Okay,
most black people's problems go away when you lose the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. But
And
we're typically we're talking about women's weight though. Like we're
we,
the only ones with the weight issue.
Then in other words, basically what he was trying to make a point is that uh, even if you didn't do it to be attractive, okay, should you do it just for your own health? That's what he's trying to make a point.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why are
Exactly.
you that big? Why are you that big? Even if it's not about being attractive, and what he's trying to say, healthy people or in shape people are more attractive.
you gotta think about it, right? When we go to the movies, are the stars average looking people? No, they're not.
No.
There's a reason for that because you wouldn't go to see a movie if you could look at the nigga next door and see the same motherfucker in the movie theater and see them.
Come
When
on.
you know, why do you think they're trying to push this agenda that everybody's beautiful? And then you got to realize one thing that women forget: men are not as predicated on beauty as women are. Then on top of that, when you do see a man who women considered handsome, he can stay that way much longer than a woman can stay keep her beauty on average. Even though a man typically is more attractive when to women, unless he has quote unquote movie star looks, he's going to start getting attractive to a lot of women when he's like closer to 30. Especially if he starts growing a beard, he starts putting on a little muscle and shit like that. His career is starting to jump off. And it's crazy because when women say that everybody is beautiful bullshit, which is the worst propaganda they could have done.
That's come from feminism. That's been taught to feminism.
And have
Everybody gets a trophy and everybody's beautiful. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
and have we learned that most feminists are ugly as hell? Damn, I know, Charles. You know, you're a son of a bitch, Charles. I know.
Yeah, and you got tons. You have most of your women that are on YouTube that do very well talk about what do they talk about dating standards of men.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about looks. They talk about looks and how they should be considered more attractive and they're not and all this kind of stuff. So basically, so you're saying that they all think they're beautiful.
Mm-mm.
They want to be, but thing is, they know what the standard is. They all do. They complain about it more.
Yeah.
Kim Foster, anybody?
Kim Foster, Chrissy, Cynthia G. They all complain about the same stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Trust and believe the above average looking women for the most part are not anything pleasing. They don't need to. They already taken. They got options, like real options, not just bull crap of being on social media or on dating sites. They don't need any of that stuff. They get it in real life.
Yeah.
Regularly.
I'm pretty sure somewhere in the world, Bria Miles is not saying, "Curse this pretty face of mine."
What she said was self-confidence. So she said self-confidence is the most important thing, right? That's what she said, right, Mahogany?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll take Lizzo for instance, right? Okay. Lizzo's pretty self-confident, would you say?
Yes, she is.
Okay. And so we can compare it again closer to a 10. Megan Good is about 8 plus, maybe close to a 9 because she's getting up in age. Who's the hot girl right now?
None of these bitches.
No. Okay, so we don't have any stars that should be considered top
I'll
hot.
say what's the chick named Chloe, I guess, but it's some of
Chloe
these
Bailey.
Yeah, like
Chloe Bailey. No.
I would say that's the prettiest, the youngest.
Let's take somebody that's somebody like Lori Harvey. Okay, just
I'd say Lori.
let's
Lori's
just
probably
take Harvey. Let's take Lori Harvey. So So basically, if I put Lori Harvey and Lizzo together in a room, right, with 100 guys, how many guys would pick Lizzo over Lori Harvey?
I'm sure most of them would not pick Lizzo, but that doesn't
No, 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 no,
that
no. Give me a percentage. No, no, give me a
oh,
percentage.
okay.
So you think it'd be 50-50, 60-40, or like
No,
90?
the majority would pick Lori.
Lori, does Lori have to be self-confident to get him?
No, but she has to be self-confident to keep him. I'm almost certain of
No,
that.
no, this is fact. We ain't talking about keeping, we talking about fact.
Hmm.
She doesn't believe in Lori Harvey. She kept her mouth shut. She ain't gotta have no self-confidence. You got, I don't know where you guys get this idea about men.
I'm gonna say this, BGS.
Where you guys get this idea? They say women are the most emotionally intelligent creatures that they can actually ascertain the feelings and
No,
actions of people, right? And you guys have no clue about men.
I'm gonna tell you what I just remember my show that I had. Women don't know what men want, and men don't know how women are. And see, this
That's true.
is a perfect example. Women don't, especially black women, never gave a fuck what attracts them. They never did, and it's sad that y'all. I'm gonna put it to you this way: I don't give a fuck how great her personality is. I don't give a fuck about her career, her education. I'm sorry. There's a reason why comic book companies put their best artists when they are making the covers. You know why? I don't care how good the story is. If that cover is not attracting the reader, it's not going to get bought.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Basic marketing.
Yeah, every man knows there's a difference when you walk in a club with a regular chick and with a bad chick.
I'm gonna
Yes,
tell
sir.
you what.
Oh, there's a big
I,
difference.
Yes,
At
sir.
the
There's a
end,
big difference. Go ahead.
at the end of the day, men and women are different. That's
Not as
that's
much. Not as much
that.
as you think.
But
Uh,
I'm
Hey,
gonna I'm
hey,
gonna
they
I'm
are.
gonna go to Porsche
hey,
tomorrow with my confidence ass
hey,
and see if
hey,
I can get a
trust
turnover.
and believe. If you can get a chick that's a 4 to walk in with a Idris Elba or a Boris Kojo, okay, it's gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
Kevin. Kevin.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to thank you. I felt like you got a little nervous when I came up here, but I appreciate you letting me up. You know I like to surf the internet in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep, but
Nervous. Nervous.
well,
Why would you say nervous?
because I don't too often, I just typically stay in your clouds. I don't too often hop up here. So I didn't want you thinking, oh, she's coming over here to start some mess, because I'm not.
It's a smoke show.
No, I wasn't. That wasn't a thought that entered my mind. It was just a person. And where is that feedback coming from?
That's coming
I
from me.
don't know because I turned my TV off. I don't know. That's why I've been muting up, but I'll
that's
mute up for a
coming.
second.
That's coming from Mahogany
Yeah.
because the
Okay.
whole time when she was speaking, it would go like that. And oh
And
yeah,
I
by the
don't.
way, for all you motherfuckers in the chat, no, it's not me. By the way, when I make her answer the question, and by the way, you saying motherfuckers in the chat saying make her answer the question. You dumb motherfuckers. There's a reason why I let her talk the way she was gonna say
Yeah.
because I knew exactly what she was
I,
gonna say.
I
Listen,
ran a women's channel for almost 3 years. So you were, you're at the beginner's level. You couldn't even believe to start anything.
No, but here's the thing. I was about to respond to Mahogany. I just don't. I don't want you to feel like you're unwelcome on this channel. I don't want you.
I
So
know.
I
I
I
don't.
I appreciate you for stopping through.
No, I've watched you for a long time. You know that I told you that, and for some weird reason, I always come up here in the wee hours. I get up pretty early, so that's why. But I'm gonna switch devices because I do have that echo on this phone, and I'll just listen. But thank you all for let me have a discussion with you.
I like
But yeah, I'm gonna
She's
switch
always fun to
devices.
be around.
You
All
too.
right.
You too.
All right.
Like
Well, appreciate you as always. And she's correct. She's been around for a long, long time. I mean, like for real. Like so. I think I'm about to wrap this up.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah,
it's,
yeah,
it's getting.
yeah. And that's why black men don't have standards for that reason, right there.
Yeah.
I'm about to wrap this up.
All right,
Yeah, but last statements, fellas.
man. I said, like Kevin says, God damn it, you cannot make this shit up.
I'm just gonna say this, man. Look, black men don't have standards. Black women don't have shame, and that's the end of it. Woo!
Alrighty. Art, chaos, clouds.
Well, just came to support the brother. Appreciate you having me up, and I thought I'd be done grading papers, but I'm gonna just do the rest tomorrow. So y'all have a good day, and I see y'all in the next one. Take care.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas. D Scott, thank you for the super chat. He said black women made it law to sell liquor, they're not buying. I appreciate that.
You gotta speak up, Kevin. I don't know if you're away from the phone. What is that? You sound too low.
I was thanking D Scott for the super chat. He said black women made it law to sell what black men are not buying. Mm. Thank you. Well, thank you for the super chat. So okay, I guess that's it for now. Yeah, I guess another smoke show in the books. Thank you all. Didn't get any smoke this time, but hey, there's always next Sunday. So anyway, that'll be it for now. Thank you once again for showing up, and hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow night. I am fucking tired. But anyway, let's go ahead and end it. Long live the habitual line steppers and Kev we trust. And when you don't give up, you would definitely win. So till the next time, folks.